Satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. MediShare works. It's been around for more than a quarter century, and members have shared more than $3 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
What's your favorite four-letter word? Chances are you've said it more than a few times dealing with this crazy world we live in. But at Compass Retirement Solutions, our four-letter word of choice is hope. Hope for a better tomorrow. And hope that your retirement plans don't take a back seat. You've watched inflation soar. And maybe your retirement future feels a little uncertain right now. But all hope is not lost. Find out exactly how much risk you're still taking with your investments. Find out how you may be able to save big on taxes. And find out how having a written retirement plan just might give you the hope you've been looking for. Call today to set up a meeting. 314-373-1598. That's 314-373-1598. Compass Retirement Solutions. 314-373-1598. Firm offers insurance services but does not provide tax advice. Investments and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory firm in Missouri and Illinois. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
If you're experiencing a spring hiring rush, then you need Indeed. Their powerful, all-in-one hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates all in one place. Want to find your next great hire? Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Mark Cox here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how to link to the market without the risk. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go online to retirementkey.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom.
It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Thank you all very much. And I'm not going home. I'm staying here. Isn't this an incredible place? All you American reporters. Looks just like the White House, right?
So President Biden in Ireland saying he's not going home, he's staying here. Well, that's funny, because didn't he just say that when he was in Canada? Do you remember that when he was in there with Trudeau?
Yes.
He's like, I'm staying here.
I get the impression maybe he doesn't like it in the United States so much.
It's shocking because there are so many people who he's just letting come right into the country who really, really want to be here, that the guy who was elected and chosen to lead the country is going to tell all the foreign leaders and the people who are at those gatherings, I'm staying here. What's happening? Welcome to the Annie Frey Show. Happy to be with you here today. We talked about this today's YouTube live chat poll question really materialized out of the conversation yesterday, and I'm excited to hear your feedback on it. And I don't even know, Brad, I can't remember exactly where you fell on this. Should the GOP use TikTok to reach younger voters? Now I remember. Mm-hmm. Should the GOP use TikTok to reach younger voters for the 2024 election? There is a conflict of interest there. Would you agree?
Yes.
Should they?
Well, yeah. And my thinking on this is my same thinking on the ballot harvesting and, mail-in voting and all of that other stuff. I know we don't like those things. I know that they're bad, but that's where the game is being played right now. It's the whole forward pass analogy. This is where the game is being played, and if you want to compete for Gen Z voters, you're going to have to get on Gen Z platforms. And TikTok is a Gen Z platform. So you have to have a Republican or a GOP presence on there, and one that's appealing to the younger generation.
Yeah, you just scoot your camera over. I can't. You're halfway on the camera on there. That's funny. It's like,
how's that?
That's better. It's like Wilson from Home Improvement. I have gone back and forth on this, and I'm not a TikTok user. I do really enjoy watching YouTube Shorts. I do Facebook Reels. Are they Reels? They're Reels, right? Or
Yes.
Stories? Gosh, I don't know. And Instagram Reels or Stories, one or the other. Hannah should be telling us what these things are. I enjoy watching them, and I will sit there and just like if you've ever started the cascading waterfall of watching these videos, you know that it can be difficult to stop. If you get into a flow of content that you're interested in and they cultivate all of this content that's interesting to you, and basically what that ends up being in my feed, specifically on Instagram, which I am a novice at. Hannah runs our Instagram, and let me just put this out to you right now. If you like Hannah, you should subscribe or like or follow us on Instagram at The Annie Frey Show, and you will literally make her day if you follow us on Instagram. So The Annie Frey Show. But you go on there, in my feed specifically, there's political things, there's comedy, there's Disney World. It's the weirdest grouping of content, but everybody probably has their own unique kinds of feeds. I'm assuming TikTok works very much so the same way. Do you know?
I haven't put it on my phone.
Hannah, we need you. Come in here. I'm assuming that TikTok is just a scroll of short videos. And your experience and my experience with TikTok likely is through Twitter or other places, but mostly Twitter, where TikTok videos get uploaded. I liken this to being the old fart that I am at 38 ripe years of age, as I look to the TV and Dianne Feinstein's on there. And I say to myself, how can I relate to this? Snapchat came out. Snapchat has a bunch of filters. I don't really know what happens when you post something on Snapchat. I don't know who or where it goes to. I don't understand any of it, but I do know that you can save the filtered picture that's funny and upload it to Facebook. Hannah's like, hello, old people.
Oh, man.
I'm doing it wrong, aren't I?
No, you're doing great.
Oh, that's what you tell Grandma when she learns to send an email.
Yep.
TikTok, is it the same video-wise, scrolling?
Yep. TikTok has a For You page, and you just swipe through like you do Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. It covers up your whole screen. It shows the video takes up the whole thing. You can comment, share it, repost it, save it if you like it, and then just keep going. And it's just like any other social media app. It sucks you in.
Sucks you in. So, like Brad said, if this is where the battlefield lies, and if Republicans want to compete for the minds of young people, because it is, Hannah, a vacuum, I assume, if you're on there, and you said yesterday that you don't really see politics on TikTok, but you said, I do see woke stuff on TikTok.
I do see woke things on TikTok, but I don't see politicians on TikTok, which kind of goes along with our poll today.
So what if we have influencers who are participating in TikTok and going where, fishing where the fish are, so to speak, and being successful, at least in uploading interesting content that will just show up in that feed? Would that make a difference?
I think that would make a difference, yes.
I don't know that Joe Biden is going to pull off TikToks, at least not in the way that he wants.
Right.
There's a way
I definitely don't
that
wanna
it could
see
be viral and entertaining, but I don't know that it's necessarily going to be what Joe Biden's going for, or more likely what Joe Biden's campaign is going for. I think Donald Trump could certainly have people who are there on TikTok who are articulating ideas and where Donald Trump is on something versus where maybe the Democratic competitor, likely Biden, if not Biden, then maybe Gavin Newsom. What do you think the key is to, because my assumption is that young people think that conservatism is an old people thing.
Yeah, I agree with that. My knee-jerk reaction to this yesterday was that no, the GOP should not use TikTok because I thought it was hypocritical. But the more I've been thinking about it, the platform's there, people are using it, so you have to tap into it. But the thing about hypocritical is it wouldn't make sense for Josh Hawley himself to be using TikTok. He's against TikTok.
Yeah,
it wouldn't make sense for him himself to be using that platform. But other people who are Republicans and conservatives can use it. So it's kind of, This poll question was hard and interesting, but
do you think are you a yes or a no?
Overall, I am a yes.
You're voting yes.
Yesterday I was a no. Today I'm voting yes.
We'll
after
ask
I thought
again
about
tomorrow.
it more. Yeah.
Absolutely not. You know who we should ask this question to is Jim Carafano.
Ooh.
I'm going to tweet it at him right now.
Ooh.
And see if he responds.
Ooh.
Because it's to me in my mind, I'm thinking it's very similar to the concept of early voting.
Mm-hmm.
You hate it. You don't want it to exist. You want most of you want one day of voting where you show your identification and you get your ballot and you vote and it's your vote and nobody else can access it and it happens on one day and you get your results that night. That's not happening. It's definitely not happening if Republicans don't win. And if Republicans don't win based on the rules that are set up the way they are right now, they're never going to win again. So you have to go and compete the way the battle lines are drawn right now, and you have to participate in early voting. You have to go out and harvest ballots in those states where harvesting ballots is legal. Is it different because China's involved?
No, I think that this is, you're running a campaign. You could have a device that is basically, this is our TikTok device. And the only thing this TikTok...
It's a Huawei phone.
Right. The only thing this TikTok device is used for is TikToks. And that's the only stuff that goes on this particular device. And therefore, China can't do anything other than find your cool influencer videos. Now, that's if a campaign's using it. Now, if a campaign is finding somebody who is already a big TikTok influencer and they're utilizing their services, well, that's on that other TikTok user to worry about their data and their privacy.
Paul says on YouTube right now, if you want to teach younger people, TikTok is where it's at. That's not wrong.
No.
Feels like a major concession to do that, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't feel like it's a major concession. I don't like it. I don't like that TikTok's a thing, but TikTok is a thing. Mm-hmm. This is the reality of the situation. And so if we're interested in winning, which we should be, because if we want to save the country, that's what we need to do. We have to get the votes and get in position.
It's like an undercover sting. You have to infiltrate it to remove it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
don't tell the kids that's what you're doing.
That's a great analogy.
So go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel, and this is one of those days. I assume that this is going to be a close poll, and we've done a couple polls that I thought would be competitive, and then they were 90%, 10%. So I'm very interested to see where this goes. Should the GOP use TikTok to reach younger voters for the 2024 election? Yes or no? Hannah, are you logged in yet?
I am logged in.
Can you see the comments?
Yep.
Are there any that you'd like to read here real quick?
Sure.
Before we get to the break?
Jackie says the GOP needs to utilize all approved tools at their disposal, whether they approve of them or not. We are in it to win it, and we need to start acting like it.
I like the attitude.
Art says it won't matter which platform the GOP uses. Their policies have been routinely rejected by Gen Z and millennials.
Also, Art, in addendum to that, it's because those policies have been defined in vacuums by leftists. But I digress. Go on.
Mark Reed says that he voted yes on the poll. You cannot reach our future voters and win a cultural war, not without utilizing every possible social media platform. Republicans are always behind with archaic thinking sometimes.
Yeah, Republicans have this mentality. Previously, maybe they're growing out of it a little bit. Republicans have this mentality of but we're on the right side. Isn't that enough? And in fact, it isn't.
No.
It's
well,
not
nobody
enough.
knows. Nobody knows you're on the right side
Yeah.
because you're leaving a vacuum out there for somebody to tell you you're not on the right side.
Vicky says that she chose no on the poll. TikTok is either evil Chinese spyware or it's not. Now they want to use it to reach younger voters. Either leave it alone or ban it. You can't have it both ways.
Vicky, now they want to use it to reach younger voters. It is being used to reach younger voters. Mm-hmm. There's just no challenge to that. Right. Not effectively that I know of. Not in mass, I would say. But I understand that. I mean, that's Vicky's making that statement on principle, and she's not wrong to do that.
Larry says that he voted no on the poll. No one in government should have that on their phone. The younger generation, as well as the GOP, needs to communicate on American-made social media sites.
So
that's a good point.
We've also said, and you said that you don't think Josh Hawley should be the one
to do it
on TikTok doing it. But if there are people out here, I mean, there's people all over Twitter, there are people on Instagram, there are people on these other social media platforms who are influencing. I mean, I just can't. I just think of people who are on the left that are listening to this right now going, No, it would be absolutely against your principles to be on TikTok, and you absolutely would be a hypocrite if you went on TikTok and shared conservative messages. It would be the worst thing that you could do, you hypocrites. Because the end result is that there's no challenging message on TikTok. So I mean, like, I feel like the leftists win if we stay off TikTok, but then at the same time, you could make the case that the leftists win if you are on TikTok. So my hand gestures are getting too big. Water over there.
The next comment is from Patrick. He said, if it's legal, we have to use it to our advantage. I feel like TikTok should be banned completely from our country. But if it's still here, we have to use all of our resources.
All right. Well, let's keep the comments coming in. Hannah's going to continue to watch them, and we will continue to highlight that throughout the course of the show. Go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel. If you're not going to watch us there or stick around to chat, just go vote. Be heard. And at 2:45 in that segment, before we wrap up the show and hand it over to Mark Reardon, we get the results from Hannah and we find out what you had to say about it. So should the GOP use TikTok to reach younger voters for the 2024 election? Yes or no? Annie Frey YouTube channel. We are broadcasting live right now there. And the live chat portion is where you will find that poll. When we come back, let's talk to Cully Stimson. Can't wait to have a conversation with a senior legal fellow at the Heritage Foundation when we return. Don't go away.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
The Diamond Shop, online at thediamondshop.net. I'm excited to talk to you about this. They are having an estate jewelry event. It is Friday, April 21st and Saturday, April 22nd, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m., featuring the Madison Estate Collection. Select from a collection of jewelry, including just a whole bunch of just absolutely beautiful pieces of jewelry that you're not going to find anywhere else. It's an estate jewelry event, and when you go to the Diamond Shop on Friday or Saturday, April 21st or 22nd, between 10 and 5, you are going to be able to shop this event. I love what the Diamond Shop does with these types of things. There's a really special offering for you where you're going to get to look at unique pieces and just peruse the items that they have in their store at that time. If you're looking for something else, if you're looking for a Mother's Day gift, if you're looking for maybe a birthday gift coming up, the Diamond Shop is there to help you shop for that as well. And if it's a little bit out and you want to buy something nice, 6 months, same as cash financing available to you, become a VIP online and get alerts to special savings opportunities as well. That estate jewelry event, Friday, April 21st and Saturday, April 22nd, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Put it on your calendar now. You don't want to miss it. TheDiamondShop.net.
Sharpshooters Indoor Range can facilitate all types of experience levels. CCW courses instructed every month. Check sharpshooterstl.com for availability. Private training is available daily. Sharpshooters Indoor Range can host large group and corporate events with catering from Sharpshooters Pit and Grill. Thursday is always Ladies' Day from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. Rent your firearm with the Try Before You Buy wall. Sharpshooters Indoor Range on Gravois in St. Louis. Visit sharpshooterstl.com for full details.
You want to retire soon, but everyone keeps telling you to wait until you're 65. After all, that's the age that you qualify for Medicare and you're close to full retirement age. I'm Marvin Mitchell, president of Compass Retirement Solutions. In my new book, Retire Early, The 9 Critical Decisions When Retiring Before 65, I discuss proper planning to help make early retirement possible. When to take Social Security, what to do with your 401k, health care, how to maximize retirement income, and much more. Get a complimentary copy of Retire Early by calling 1-800-743-8510. That's 1-800-743-8510. Can you retire early? Call 1-800-743-8510 for your copy of Retire Early, The 9 Critical Decisions When Retiring Before 65.
Investments and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and Illinois. Compass Retirement Solutions is not affiliated with the U.S. government or any governmental agency.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Join us at Odyssey as we all do our one thing. Together millions of things as we count down to Earth Day. Just 9 days to go. When using heat-generating appliances like dishwashers and ovens in the spring and summer, use them in the evening and off-peak hours. This minimizes the effects of heat and saves on electric costs. When we each share one thing, it becomes 100 things, 1,000 things, 1,000,000 things for our planet. What's your one thing?
Are you thankful for the first responders in your community? Then nominate a local department and let us feed them a great meal. Compliments of Grill Master Tony Stone. Mark Cox here. Visit 971talk.com/contests and nominate someone today.
Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
But this is really serious stuff. And, you know, what I didn't hear was something I expect to hear in the coming week or so, which is, you know, who did this? How were they able to do this? And most importantly, how can we make sure it never happens again? And this is pretty key for our allies, right? You know, we rely on our allies to share intelligence, and they need to trust us. And right now, for all the soothing tones that I heard from the Secretary of State, if I were an ally right now, I would be wondering whether the United States can keep their secrets safe.
So listening to this Democratic rep talk about the security leak, the security breach of these classified documents. Has this been the year of classified documents scandal? I mean, even yesterday we have classified documents swirling around the streets of Ireland. Who knew? This is a really, really strange bingo card to be playing coming into 2023. Regardless, to that congressman's point, can America keep other people's secrets safe? And how much peril is the United States in right now because of this massive leak? I want to talk to our friend Cully Stimson, Senior Legal Fellow at the Heritage Foundation. I'm grateful that you're here, Cully, to talk about this information that has been leaked. I want to give you the opportunity to kind of assess the damage control situation where it is right now, Cully.
Sure. Thanks for having me. And I have had a top secret and special access program clearance and been read into those types of programs before. And so I take this very seriously, as all your listeners should too. We don't know yet the extent to which this illegal disgorgement of classified information has damaged our relationships with key allies. It takes a while to assess that, no doubt. As soon as the New York Times broke open this story, and then the Washington Post article, which was just updated, by the way. Apparently the leaker is a guy named Jack Teixeira, who that's on the front page of the Washington Post. He's a Massachusetts Air National Guard member. So that means if he was on active duty when he did this, he could be court-martialed. And even if he was only a contractor in a contractor status, then the DOJ can prosecute him. So we just don't know yet. And what's interesting is that there's a big difference between, at least to date, and we don't know if he's going to disgorge more documents or people on his behalf will, between what Chelsea Manning did when he was on active duty, downloading hundreds and hundreds of thousands of documents about the Iraq War and then giving it over to WikiLeaks versus this guy who was really taking documents away from a secured facility and then sharing the contents of them in this little weird chat group that he was part of. And then eventually took pictures of these documents and put it in the chat group because these are sort of like gamer kids. So we don't know yet, but this is more tactical, real-time information versus a lot of the historical information like what happened with Chelsea Manning or way back with Daniel Ellsberg and the Pentagon Papers, which was a huge, find about the state of the Vietnam War.
Cully Stimson with us right now, senior legal fellow at the Heritage Foundation. I heard Jennifer Griffin on with Brian Kilmeade, who's the show that leads into mine here in St. Louis, talking about how she works at the Pentagon.
I know her well.
Yeah, yep. She was talking about how, as horrific as this is, how impressive the United States' ability to know things actually is. But she was talking about the repercussions, the potential consequences of the actions of this individual. She literally said, I'll just say this, she uttered the words death penalty in regards to how dramatic of the consequences because of this person's actions, how scary this could be. I'm wondering what you think about whose life is in danger, what kind of American secrets are going to cause other lives to be in danger in our relationships with countries across the world.
Well, Jennifer's right, and she's an incredibly talented scholar and reporter. When you see the types of things that this young man put out on the internet, and it shows things like, for example, we had intel into the Russian intelligence services and their actions, or that we had insight into what people in Egypt were saying at the highest levels of the government or other allies of ours. Or satellite imagery of the Chinese spy balloon from above the balloon that took very detailed pictures of the surveillance package hanging from underneath the balloon. I mean, that is sources and methods, and that tells our allies, and more dangerously, our enemies, that yes, they know that we use Section 702 of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act to surveil non-U.S. persons reasonably believed to be overseas, and they know, because they're smart, that tool expires at the end of the year unless Congress reauthorizes it, which they should. But it's still way too early to know what lives are in danger. We do know from Chelsea Manning's betrayal of his country and his oath and committing the crimes that he did, that many people in Afghanistan, among other places, were killed because when the enemy, the Taliban and Al-Qaeda, found out who the Afghan translators and others who were helping us, identities were exposed in that release, they hunted them down and killed them. And it strained relations with our allies because a lot of diplomatic cables, those are emails, about 250,000 of them were disgorged during the Chelsea Manning disaster. So it's too early to tell how bad it is, but it's bad. It's bad.
We're speaking with Cully Stimson here with the Heritage Foundation. 21-year-old Air National Guardsman from Massachusetts, Jack Teixeira. There's a lot of info that we don't know, but is the assumption here that this is just incredible, gross incompetence, not necessarily maliciousness towards the United States or his position, but just probably the most massive case of incompetence that we've seen?
Well, to quote my old boss, we don't know what we don't know about this guy. We don't know what his motives were. We don't know if he did it on his own accord. We don't know if he did it during the lockdowns of 2020 just to sort of buddy up with this little group of sycophant followers he had, or whether he is, being influenced by outside actions or whatnot. So the Washington Post has done some remarkably good reporting on this. And typically I don't direct people to read the Washington Post, but I think the articles yesterday and today were quite good. One would hope the FBI is a few steps ahead of them. Maybe not. But we don't know what the motivation is. But by the way, if he was on active duty, and of course, I served in the Navy for 30 years and I was a judge, prosecutor, and defense counsel, they can court-martial this guy and depending on how it's charged and the aggravating circumstances, he could face the ultimate punishment.
So, I was reading through some of the Washington Post reporting. They had a tweet thread out that last night that I was going through. A lot of people responding to the Washington Post. What clearance do you have, Washington Post, to be viewing some of these documents and reporting on some of these documents? Once these things are out there on Discord, which is where Jack Teixeira posted these, and Washington Post gets access to them, as you were talking about your experience of working with these kind of classified documents, does the Washington Post have a First Amendment right to view and report on these?
The interesting part about this particular handing over of classified information to the Washington Post is they were very specific in their article yesterday and the one this morning that they have not published many of them in their paper. And remember back when Daniel Ellsberg, who was working for Rand at the time, got a hold of what later became called the Pentagon Papers, and he turned that over in piecemeal to the Post. They set up an independent group within the Post and spent time going over those documents before deciding which ones to release. So I'm not saying the Washington Post is a hero or a goat here, but what I am saying is they're exercising some restraint. And they are in the business of journalism. Whether you like it or not, they are true journalists, unlike WikiLeaks. WikiLeaks didn't try to independently verify, vet, or anything. They just wanted the information and willy-nilly just put it out there for the world to see, which was totally inappropriate, illegal, and dangerous. The Post is exercising some restraint here.
So we are where we are now. You can't go back and undo what has been done. And it seems to me like there's going to be a massive political effort with our foreign relations that's going to have to ensue now to try to repair any damages that have been done from a political relationship, geopolitical relationship across the country or across the world, I should say. And then also there are going to be military-based initiatives that are going to have to be reorganized because of secrets that have been spilled out for the world to consume. As much as you can't put a cat back in the bag, can you explain to us, Cully, like what would the next steps be for the United States to do immediate damage control, and how long does it take to kind of rectify a situation like this?
So former Secretary of War Henry L. Stimson, no relation, said, "Gentlemen don't read gentlemen's mail." Well, everyone knows that's not true. We spy, and other countries spy on us, including our allies. This town where I am in Washington, D.C. is littered with spies. So is Northern Virginia. People who say they're a contractor for this company or that company are often working for intelligence agencies. That's just common knowledge here. And so I think we all need to take a deep breath, because I think a lot of the senior leaders in these countries know, because they're either allies of us and we share information, that the stuff that was disgorged was highly inconvenient, very embarrassing. But they were aware of a lot of this information that we spy on each other. Now, I worry because there's an investment of billions of dollars in eavesdropping capabilities by our country, that this may actually influence the debate over Section 702, which is the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act tool that accounts for about 25% of the foreign intelligence we get on a given year, and it's directed at non-U.S. persons reasonably believed to be overseas. And with the rising tide of China, we need 702 more than ever. So our vets have been talking, no doubt, with their counterparts in these foreign countries. That happened after Chelsea Manning and Edward Snowden. That conversation has continued. You can't stop the Jack Teixeiras of the world from taking the law in their own hands and doing stupid, dangerous things like this. But I think we ought to need to take a deep breath here and see how this plays out.
Yeah. It seems to me like the United States government is potentially going to make an example out of him one way or the other to make sure that other people are curbed from being tempted to do such a thing. But as you said, there's a lot more information to come out, things that we don't know yet. So, Cully, we appreciate you getting us up to speed on this issue. We look forward to having the conversation with you as we do learn more information as time passes.
Well, thanks for having me. Really appreciate it.
Yep. Thank you. Senior legal fellow at the Heritage Foundation, former U.S. Navy JAG lawyer at Cully Stimson on Twitter. Go tell him hi. Thanks for coming on. This story is going to continue to evolve and develop. It's definitely one of those things that I am very interested in to find out what the developments are. But I'm going to need the experts to come onto this show and walk us through the details and put our feet back on the ground before we lose our minds too much on any of these things based on what we've heard and read on Twitter. Cully is a great resource to do that. We're grateful he came on. Sounds like the Pentagon is going to brief on these classified leaks sometime today, so we're going to watch that. And it's also possible that an arrest could be made during the course of the show or today. So stay with us, and we will have that information if it breaks during the Annie Frey Show. On a quick break right now, I want you to go vote on the YouTube live chat poll if you haven't yet. Should the GOP use TikTok to reach younger voters for the 2024 election? Yes or no? I could see how there'd be a conflict of interest. I could see how you could, A, want TikTok to be banned, and B, want the GOP to get as many voters influenced on that platform where all those young folks are. You tell me what you think. Go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel, and in the live chat of today's live broadcast, you'll be able to vote. Ryan Wiggins in studio with Wiggins America. When we come back, do not go away.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
So let's talk about STS Armory and how they can help you find the firearm that you've been looking for. If you don't know what you're looking for, you can go into STS Armory, talk to Katie and Jesse, tell them Annie said hello, and you will quickly learn why they are so relied upon by many people in the Illinois area. My family, my extended family, likes to shop at STS Armory, and it's obvious because some people in my family are very, very well versed and they nerd out a little bit on the firearm industry, and other ones want to be able to protect themselves, and they're brand new. They treat them all with the greatest amount of respect. And on top of it all, whether you are a very experienced person with firearms or brand new, never fired a gun before, they have classes that you can sign up for to help educate you to make sure that you are being a responsible gun owner, a responsible person carrying. In Illinois, you got to get all the licensure. They can help you walk through that whole process. You can walk in with no knowledge. They will get you to where you need to be confident and responsible with that firearm. Family-owned and operated business, STS Armory on the corner of Highway 111 and South Drive in Illinois and Pontoon Beach. It's where I go. I hope you'll give them a chance as well. 618-931-GUNS, online at sts-armory.com.
If you like to work with a local company that gives back to the community, Window World is the preferred window of your St. Louis Blues. Mark Cox here from my friends out at Window World. What a great product. A lifetime warranty. It covers all the parts, the glass breakage, the labor. You've heard me say that before. And they've been around for over 20 years. They have improved the look and the efficiency of over 70,000 homes in the greater St. Louis area. They have the Good Housekeeping seal of approval. That's hard to get, right? And that's important. They're ranked number one in the number of windows sold in the country by Qualified Remodeler magazine. Call them for a free estimate. Let them show you why they say simply the best for less. New doors, new windows. With Window World, they're now offering 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit. 314-993-1800. That's 314-993-1800. Or you can go online anytime to windowworld.com.
Okay, I'm ready to record my jewelry store's new radio spot. We got a great script that really goes after Diamonds Direct and how they're nothing special and how we can match their price. Great stuff. Yeah.
Great. And we have this new technology that bleeps out any false claims, so it saves us time with editing. So you can start anytime.
Okay, here it goes. When you visit our jewelry store, we'll absolutely guarantee direct. Our diamonds come straight from the mine. We have cutters and Hey, what the
The hard truth is that other jewelry stores simply can't do what Diamonds Direct can. Diamonds Direct has special relationships with De Beers, international connections, and virtually unlimited buying power. The result is true direct importer pricing, exceptional quality, and up to 30 times the diamond selection you find at other stores.
I can't believe this thing won't let me say
Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. Get more truth at diamondsdirect.com.
For a hole in your roof or a whole new roof, Frederick Roofing.
90,000 satisfied customers since 1929. Frederick Roofing, 314-645-2000.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Save up to $7,500 on a new hybrid HVAC system and save an additional 20% when bundled with attic insulation. This is a limited time offer. For details and a free estimate, visit aircomfortservice.com.
Celebrating 22 years as St. Louis's home for conservative talk. 97.1 FM Talk. Thanks for being a part of it. This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Alderman Mitt says communication between corporate executives, the community, and the store is vital to keep these locations open. After Walmart reopened stores following looting in 2020, Mitt says her store and others have been hanging on like a thread.
Wiggins! Oh! Wiggins!
Brian Wiggins.
Well, hello there. It is good to see you all again.
I can't not say hello to people. If I don't do it out loud, I do it every time in my head the way Molly does it. Hello? H-E-W-O. Hello?
Man.
Hello.
Your videos of Molly have inspired us while I was sick on the couch.
Videos?
Well, the one
video
that you shared recently, it was just super cute.
It's like, think Dumb and Dumber. The most annoying sound in the world.
Yeah. It's the look. It's the look that does it.
That's how I know I'm in big trouble.
If you look back at Mom to see if, was that okay?
Yeah.
And she's not mad. I'm going to do it again.
Stop me here? No?
She's like, this seems really obnoxious.
I sat on the couch and with Katie yesterday night, just started looking through old baby videos.
Oh,
my
don't do
gosh,
that.
man.
It crushes your soul.
It does.
Yeah.
I don't even want more babies. Now I do.
I know. Don't even have to be your babies. Just go get one.
Just give me some babies.
Adopt a baby.
Just for the videos.
Let Katie know.
I don't want to do the nighttime thing.
It's not an option.
No? Okay.
No.
So that clip we came in with there was about food deserts. This is a term that is kind of newer. I haven't heard this term until the last couple of years. But the definition varies by state and by municipality because they try to figure out where is our food desert? Where are the places where nobody has access to, within a certain radius, a grocery store? And it's getting worse, and it's getting worse in cities especially. This news report came up that I wanted to talk about in Chicago, although it's really a lot of the same reasons that St. Louis is having these issues and other cities, that Walmart announced that they will be closing 4 stores in Chicago. By all accounts I could find, that's half of the stores they even have in Chicago. So this is kind of a big deal. It took them a long time, again, similar to St. Louis, to break into the unions because there's a lot of pushback with unions and Walmart and so forth, as everybody knows.
Why are they going away?
So the reason that they're leaving, they cite, is, quote, lack of profits, theft, and security issues. So that's in Chicago, and it's almost seems too obvious that you would want to stop the crime if you were trying to solve food deserts, because places continue to move out of major cities. Yet, they don't seem to want to do that. And in fact, are doubling down on those policies in a place like Chicago. They just elected a new mayor. So I looked up how they're trying to deal with this. And none of them are approaching the issue of crime, which just seems insane to me.
When you say how they're trying to deal with?
Officials
in Chicago.
Well, really anywhere
that this is happening.
In Chicago,
okay,
they're not really addressing the crime issue. They'll say things that we want to work with them, we want to try to keep them. They want to solve the problem, but they don't want to solve the problem, which is crime. I mean, that is why Walmart is saying they're leaving, and it is why a lot of places are not opening up in cities. They're not even seeking to open up in cities. So I just wanted to see if any of these solutions you thought would work. Put yourself in the situation of maybe a mayor. But they're doing this in New Jersey. They're going about making designated food desert areas. So they're saying, okay, if you're within a half mile to a mile of being able to find a grocery store, then now if you're not able to, then you're in a food desert, right? So this is happening more and more. They have said, well, we're going to pursue grants of up to $250,000 to businesses to purchase refrigeration equipment.
Grants would be publicly funded solutions.
Yes, these are taxpayer-used money to purchase refrigeration equipment through a program to help increase food options for places that already exist. So you got a business, we're going to give you $250,000 to buy refrigerators. Good solution, bad solution.
I mean, I think that's obviously a bad solution.
Yeah, that's a terrible solution.
I just don't know why these people cannot see the problems that they've caused.
It's ideological, Ryan. They're ideologues. They're caught up in this is their ideology says that we can't punish crime because criminals are a victim of circumstances and you don't punish victims. And so because they're so invested in that, it would take an entire paradigm shift for them to go, we need to actually punish criminals because they're hurting the people that we're trying to help. And at the end of the day, it's always going to come back to that. You can't, when you're so caught in your ideology, you're not open to the truth and open to the realities. It's almost like a cult.
Do you trace this back to officials, or do you go back, because we just had an election in Chicago, right? They had two choices. One guy who was saying, I want to be hard on crime. One guy who was saying the opposite. They elected the guy who's saying the opposite. Ultimately, this has to come back to voters, right? Voters eventually are going to have to wake up to all these problems that have been caused are caused by the fact that we're voting for these people who are soft on crime.
The solution isn't government. Everybody's got to get out of this ridiculous mindset like, oh, if we elected Republicans, everything would be better. No, your community is and your culture is in rot. And if you're in a community that's overtaken by crime, and you think that there's going to be a guy or girl on the other side of the political aisle that's going to come in and solve everything, that's not going to happen. Because for whatever reason, people keep electing the same people. First of all, pipe dream to think that you're going to start electing Republicans. Chicago wouldn't even elect a moderate Democrat. Vallis was no Republican. Vallis probably isn't really that much of a moderate. He's a Democrat. He just wasn't Democrat enough for the motivated people in Chicago. The only way that anybody else is ever going to get motivated if it gets so bad that they decide to go to the polls and change, they don't do that. They leave. They go elsewhere. They go to places that are controlled by Republicans. So if you live in these communities and you want to do something about it, you've got to invest in the community and stop. It's the most infuriating thing that Republicans and conservatives do, which is wait for their version of government to show up to save the day. It's the most anti-Republican conservative thing I can think of.
Had a couple days off to think about this topic. And one of the things I keep coming back to, not necessarily just the Walmart thing, but why voters seem to vote against their own interests, whether it's crime, whether it's economic or whatever. And I keep coming back to the idea, we've talked about it before here, that politics downstream from culture. And I always take it one step further and say culture is downstream from morality or spirituality. That some of the stuff that we talk about that's cultural, that almost seems like it's not as important as the hard news, that actually may be more important, because when you capture people's attention with cultural things or morality items, it's almost as if these voters in these cities, they're voting against their own interests because they think they're going for a higher purpose.
They're not voting against their own interests.
Do you think that is their interest?
100% is their interest. They're voting for what they want. They have people in these campaigns and these elections that are running to give them stuff. They're voting for what they want. And the people who, some might say, aren't voting for their interests are the ones who don't show up. But in many cases, they are smart enough to leave.
But what I'm saying is that they're voting.
It's not for us to determine that somebody in the city of St. Louis who goes to vote for a Democrat, who Democrats have run this city long enough for us to say that it's a navy blue city. Kim Gardner got, 74%?
Something like that.
Of the vote for re-election.
Yeah.
It's unimaginable that could possibly be the case. And I will tell you that at 1:25, we're going to have Emily Compagno on the show to talk. I'm very excited to have our first-time guest on the Annie Frey Show to talk about Kim Gardner and that whole scenario. There are no Republicans making a viable case to give people something else to vote for. They're not even attempting to do that. The people who are conservative-minded or Republican-minded that have an interest in the city have moved out of the city and are looking to get their businesses out of the city. There has to be an effort that causes the politics to change because the makeup of the people has changed. And the makeup of the people is changing. More blue.
Well, I think I'm not saying something completely different than you. I think we're approaching it differently. But I think what I'm trying to say is when you have a food desert, for instance, because that was the headline here, that's not something that people wanted. They weren't saying, you know what I want to vote for is a food desert. I want to have less grocery stores around me.
You don't need to have a grocery store where you're going to go buy groceries. If somebody is going to provide you the things that you would need money to buy groceries for yourself, if everything is provided for you, and those are the people who are left in these communities, it's not a problem for you.
I just don't know if the people who are doing that voting, which is, voting is never a high turnout, but when they do, if they're connecting those dots, if they're saying, and I think that's what I'm saying is that the cultural thing, which is I want handouts or I want to vote for social justice issues first. These things, which do affect my everyday life, really are second. But it's the big issues that they're voting on first that affect those secondary issues.
Well, there's definitely consequences to their actions. So I agree with you in that regard, that there's a consequence to voting this way, and it's creating places that I wouldn't want to live in. But that's the thing. I am taking the tax dollars that I make and would reinvest in the community to a place that doesn't do this. And when I leave, if I ever walk out of the state of Illinois, like so many other people who have been in my position have walked out of the state of Illinois, because you say, holy crap, how much am I paying in real estate taxes here? This is unbelievable. What am I getting for it? I could move 20 minutes across the Mississippi River and get a completely different investment for the work and the time I put in to pay my taxpayer dollars. I could make that choice for myself. I can afford to do it. You're just left with people who are willing to vote for what they prioritize the most, and that is a guaranteed handout. It makes sense to me why these people run on this stuff. And it makes sense to me why they run campaigns that say that the other people want to take all this stuff away from you. Well, that's true. They want to take away these handouts from you because they want to provide you the opportunity to provide for yourself. The meal's still on the table. There's a difference between being given the meal and earning the meal. I would imagine that one of those tastes better. I just don't understand. I feel like the idea that Republicans would do a better job in these areas is laughable because people don't want to invest their time in making the communities better with the lazy excuse of saying, well, if we could just get Republicans. It's very simple to just blame Democrats. It's an excuse. I don't like it. It's a bad excuse.
It's a tough message. One that says, I can give you instant gratification versus the other saying, look, we're going to have to work on this together. It might take a while.
I just saw here at 2:25 we're doing Annie, Are You Okay? But on the sheet it says, Annie, Are You Okay with Anna? So I'll mull that over. And Anna's going to be in with us at 2:25. The next hour, Tyrus and Emily Compagno. Don't go away.
Hi, this is Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw, Tom's nephew. As a family business, we are committed to protecting your retirement, whether you're nearing retirement or already retired. What if it were possible to protect you from market downturns without having to make an emotional decision to buy or sell? What if you could take advantage of a strategy that would automatically take you out of harm's way during the bad years and position you for the growth opportunity during the good years?
The secret is in linking safely to the market without putting your principal at risk. By linking to the market instead of owning the market, you can participate safely on autopilot and lock in your gains without creating a taxable event. Go online at retirementkey.com for a no-obligation retirement review. Learn the strategies that have helped our clients retire with confidence for the past 36 years. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of our latest edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. So go online at retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
So Jen Teskey with Remax Alliance is there to make your home selling experience enjoyable. I know it's going to be stressful. It always is. You want to make sure that you have everything. People are judging your whole life based on how the home you've lived in. You got to try to make everything look as good as you can. Invest some money into your house to make sure that it's ready to sell. Jen Teskey can watch you. You can look over everything that you have in front of you and say, do this, this, and this, and don't spend the money on that. It's not necessary to sell this house for top dollar. She has a team behind her that is going to be able to flex their way through the selling process to make sure that you are in the best light. And it is a positive, enjoyable experience. You can call Jen Teskey. You can text Jen Teskey at 618-541-1010. 618-541-1010. The very best at RE/MAX Alliance, there to help you buy and sell homes on the Illinois side of the river, especially in the Edwardsville, Glen Maryville, Troy, Collinsville areas. Jen Teskey, 618-541-1010.
Updating your home with James Hardie Siding has never been more popular. With all the options available, you need a partner to maximize your investment. The rising prices on vinyl siding has made Hardie Siding a great alternative. Siding Express is ready to refresh the appearance of your home or totally transform the look by installing Hardie Shake, board and batten, lap siding, or a stone accent to make it your dream home again. Siding Express is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor. Need ideas? Go to sidingexpress.com and schedule a free, no-obligation consultation today.
Scott, why should you never trust stairs?
I don't know. Why?
Because they're always up to something.
Very funny. And why not let contractors know that for that set of steps or the rest of the house, we have carpet, luxury vinyl, ceramic tile, carpet tile, laminate, and sheet vinyl all in stock at low, low prices.
2 locations, 7301 North Lindbergh in Hazelwood, Missouri, and 1851 West U.S. Highway 50 in O'Fallon, Illinois. Open 7 days a week.
Best flooring, best selection, Best Buy Flooring.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio. 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
A break in the search for the source of an intelligence leak. I'm Rich Dennison, Fox News. The suspect behind the leak of hundreds of top-secret military documents has been identified.
We've received a statement from the National Guard saying that an Air National Guardsman is being investigated for the leak. Cyber sleuths and journalists for the New York Times and Washington Post seem to have honed in on the leaker faster than the FBI. The New York Times has identified the leaker as 21-year-old Jack Teixeira of the 102nd Intelligence Wing of the Massachusetts Air National Guard. Teixeira reportedly worked the overnight shift at a base on Cape Cod and was promoted to airman first class last July.
Fox's Jennifer Griffin at the Pentagon. A top Russian diplomat says the Kremlin could reopen a dedicated diplomatic channel with the U.S. for talks about potential prisoner swaps. Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gerskovich was arrested last month in Russia, charged with spying. The U.S. says he's being wrongfully detained. President Biden is expanding access to Medicaid and the Affordable Care Act's health insurance exchanges to hundreds of thousands of migrants.
The programs would be open to those under the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program, which allows people brought to the country illegally by their parents to work, pay taxes, and be protected from deportation. Government-funded health care for those in the country illegally has long been an issue many Republicans have been critical of, believing government resources should be focused on American citizens.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz in Washington. A federal appeals court last night overruling a judge in Texas allowing the abortion drug mifepristone to remain available, though women are banned from getting the pills by mail, and they can only get them in the first 7 weeks of pregnancy. The Justice Department announcing today that an appeal to the Supreme Court is being filed in that case. America is listening to Fox News.
When you're an innovative business, every blinking cursor, every blank page is an opportunity. What will you do with it? Will you make something better or create something new? Our Dell Technologies advisors provide you with tools and expertise to do incredible things. Because we believe there's an innovator in all of us. For advice on smart PCs powered by Intel vPro that's built for business, call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL.
Do bank closures, inflation rate hikes, and the roller coaster of the market frighten you as much as it does me? You need to call Oxford Gold. Securing your IRA or 401k with real gold and silver is a portfolio protection plan, and Oxford Gold has made it as easy as 1, 2, 3. One app, one call, and you pick the precious metals. That's it. You now own real precious metals. Call Oxford Gold today and learn more about the 1, 2, 3 protection plan at 833-404-GOLD. That's 833-404-GOLD.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Near perfect weather continues on this Thursday afternoon. Lots of sunshine, a warm day. 82 for the high, 89 the record. That goes back to 1941, so that's safe. Tonight, 70s, partly cloudy skies, 52. Friday, partly sunny, 78. Changeable skies Saturday. A couple of showers and thunder showers around Saturday afternoon, 78, and a cooler 58 on Sunday with sunshine. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Keep it here for the real news. This is St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
Mark Cox, Brian Kilmeade, Annie Frey, Mark Reardon, and Dana Lash on 97.1 FM Talk.
So having an advocate, somebody who is helping you stay informed about the things that matter to you, is always important. And the Illinois Family Institute might be exactly that for you. If you go to illinoisfamily.org, you can sign up for email alerts and their newsletter so that you can be abreast of issues that you might be interested in facing Illinois taxpayers, residents, voters. illinoisfamily.org is where you check this out. Now, their mission is to boldly bring biblical perspectives to public policy. If you are somebody who is living in a state of Illinois, as I am, and you are scratching your head and questioning, where are they coming up with these things? How come we continue to go down this path of policy over and over and over again, but you always feel like you're hearing about it after it's too late to do anything? You need to sign up for the Illinois Family Institute email alerts and newsletter. Once again, go on the website to illinoisfamily.org and sign up right there to get that newsletter. They are promoting pro-life, pro-family, pro-religious liberty, and small government policies at the Capitol in Springfield and in churches throughout the state. Go to illinoisfamily.org.
Did you know the IRS is a super creditor? Hi, I'm Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. The IRS is the only creditor that can create a bill for you without your permission, then drop the hammer and aggressively collect it by wiping out your bank account, seizing your assets, and levying your wages. No other creditor can do that, and this can all happen without a court approval. If you owe back taxes, you need to be prepared to face the super creditor. Don't just sit back and take it. Fight back. At the Lance Drury Law Firm, we know how to use the laws to your advantage and go toe-to-toe with the IRS. Our office is located right here in St. Louis. Contact the Lance Drury Law Firm today for a free consultation with me, or visit us at lancedrurylaw.com or call 314-260-6120. That's 314-260-6120 to get started.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Let's make room for 72 more families to stay together during extreme medical emergencies each day by supporting the Ronald McDonald House Charities of St. Louis Capital Campaign. Please visit rmhcstl.com and learn the ways you can donate.
Learn to make money 5 ways with rental real estate. Double your money with apartments. And get your map to financial freedom. And that map starts with a free workshop. Sign up now at lifestylesunlimited.com. Click on the Join Free Workshop tab and attend online or in person. That's lifestylesunlimited.com. Lifestylesunlimited.com. Again, that's lifestylesunlimited.com. Limited seating, unlimited potential.
Countdown to Earth Day. Just 9 days to go. In the spring, use heat-generating appliances like dishwashers and ovens in the evening and off-peak hours. When we each share our one thing, it becomes a million things for our planet. What's your one thing?
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Got done speaking with Cully Stimson at 12:25 today to talk about the leaks of the classified documents. There's a briefing that's going to be taking place here in a minute, and we are going to cover that. But I want to get to Tyrus first, because Tyrus is a guest I've been looking forward to talking to all week. Let's get him on the show right now.
You're becoming like my most stable relationship.
Enough said.
Tyrus, welcome back to the show. From what I understand, your Boston Bruins are doing all right. It's okay. They're not having a bad season.
No, but it's Boston, so there's always an asterisk.
You're such a pessimist. I think
I wouldn't be any other way.
the Blues tonight's their last game, right? Yeah, we're done. We are out of the playoffs. So maybe I will lend some NHL support to your Bruins as they make it into the postseason. I just wanted
baseball support too. What is that hit? What's that hit streak at?
Okay, Jordan Walker. If you want to talk about Jordan Walker, is 12 games, and
not since the 1900s.
We were also a couple days ago the worst record in the National League, so it's bittersweet. We're getting better though. I wanted to talk to you about your comments earlier this week on Gutfeld's show about the whole Bud Light, Dylan Mulvaney. You made a correlation to Rachel Dolezal. I played all those clips. I was so grateful that you said what you said, because there are women who are out here right now, Riley Gaines being one of them, who are trying to say, how can people not see the predicament, especially when it comes to athletics and opportunity that women have fought for generations? How can you not see how the things like what Bud Light and Nike are doing are displacing women? And you stood up for him. And I want more men to feel empowered by what you said, to not be like, oh, this is not my issue, I'm going to step aside.
Oh, it is our issue. It 1,000% is our issue, because they are attacking the inspiration, every most drive of every successful man is trying to provide or take care of or impress his woman, his wife, his sister, his mother. The very definition of a man 90% of the time is based, whether you're a successful man or not, or is based on how you provide and take care of the women in your life. So it 1,000% indirectly affects us by attacking what is the most important thing in most men's lives, their mothers. So we're in it, but like I said, it just takes a different kind of feminist, and it has to be a man feminist, and because no one else is willing to take the heat. And there's no heat. Like if my career ends tomorrow for standing up for woman face, then I think that was my purpose.
It's such a smart way to put it too, because we are at a point with words, and you and I are in the business of using words to feed our family. We have to say things. There has to be something that we're willing to say and stand by. Nobody's telling me what to say, and I can't imagine that anyone's out there, Tyrus, telling you what to say on a regular basis. But words are supposed to be scary right now, and there's a capital T, they, or whatever the pronoun is these days for them, that says these are the things you can say, these are the things you can't say, and these are the things that you have to say. There's got to be pushback.
Well, no. Here's the thing. They're trying to, because the average person or the average woman who stands up for herself, she's not using violence. She's using facts and words. So to justify their violence, and these are the activists. Devin is a performance artist. He doesn't represent trans people, just like Black Lives Matter leaders didn't represent me. Let's be clear on that. They have an agenda, and he's benefiting because he is the handpicked of the three equity branches, and he's their guy. That's why he's on everything and being flooded, and they're using their swag and their money and their influence to promote this. But what, unfortunately, Bud Light found out is that what I've been saying for a long time, Twitter and social media is 10% of 10%. And you spat in the face of women across this country, and the reaction was, we're just not going to buy your product. And they felt it in record-breaking time. So there is a shift. There's only so many things you can get away with. But let's not get it. What they want is to turn words to violence to justify their violence. Because the ones who are being violent, the ones who are storming, attacking, destroying, burning, at one point chasing a woman down a hallway and extorting her to let them go because they were men dressed as women, so therefore there's a pass. See, here's the thing for Devin, because what he's doing in playing the dumbest woman on the planet, and like all the stereotypes that you as a father, I fight for my daughters not to be thought of that way. the smartest person in my household has always been a woman. So I've never been around a bubbly, dumb, that character that you'd see in movies sometimes, but and that's what's being placed on us as a woman of substance is what is basically a moron. But here's the thing. Men have to be careful because we are always held accountable for our mistakes to the highest. That's why there's this influx of performance artists preying as women, because they're able to get away with behaviors that men can't get away with. So what Devin needs to understand is that they're going to cannibalize him. The Bud Light drop, they're not going to stop doing it. They're going to find something wrong with the man that Devin is and go after him. They eat their own. They do it all the time.
Right.
So they will eat their own to save their mirage of numbers. So the countdown's beginning, because at the end of the day, he might not be parading around as a man now, but he will feel what it is to be a man when they cannibalize him to save their own skins.
We're speaking with Tyrus, and you see him on Gutfeld, Fox News contributor, and also co-host of the Tyrus and Tim podcast, of which you should subscribe. I appreciate what you're saying, because you're talking about truth, and we have lost our way as soon as we were able to possess truth to be ours as a subjective thing, where my truth can differ than your truth. We can have varying perspectives on truth. We can dislike the truth and speak our mind on how we dislike what is true. But the idea that truth is subjective has led us into this wild, wild west of anything can be true at any time, and whoever has the loudest microphone or the brightest television screen can be projected onto the rest of society in a really, really bully pulpit kind of way. And it makes me concerned. You mentioned your kids. It makes me concerned for my kids, because I'm wondering, as a young person growing up, trying to figure yourself out in the world, how do you figure yourself out in this version of it?
Well, the easiest thing to do, and I know I'm really simplifying this, turn it off. My kids don't know who Devin is. My kids don't know who the individual is who asked kids to subscribe to him and not listen to his parents, because we turn it off. In my household, and I grew up, there was ratings. There was things you could watch and things you couldn't watch.
Yeah.
I wasn't allowed to watch Golden Girls till I was a young man, and I still don't understand why. But
I couldn't watch Golden Girls either.
So
you look back and you're like, these are some sassy ladies. What didn't I know?
Yeah, I don't know. Blanche, apparently. But we laugh, but there's a point to it. When you turn them off, they have no audience because they have no numbers. It's an illusion. And I think the Bud Light thing has the greater good is that, one, it has shown the illusion. There are those numbers of these individuals. The fact that the marketing genius that they brought in with clearly no reason to ever hold a job like that should have been fired.
Right.
But they, but it's almost laughable how bad it was. But it showed that by America simply saying no, because most people don't have a stake in this. Most people don't. They see this, they roll their eyes in the news, they change the channel. They're not watching this 24/7. They're not on TikTok and see all this stuff. The first time they see it, it's like a car wreck. And then Nike and those brands that put them on the center stage, when they saw this, they were like, this is not okay. Wow, that man is making fun of women. That so-called routine dance that he did in the Nike outfit. But here's the deal.
I've never done that before in my years of being a woman.
No one has, because that's a stereotype. And he was purposely looking uncoordinated, Stu, because this is a trained performer, singer and a dancer. So it was intentional to look like women have no rhythm. And the entire fitness industry that has thousands upon thousands of women who bust their ass and put forth diets and positive things for women, young girls to see and mimic and want to be like, they don't get a Nike deal. They don't get their, the vice president. You can say what you want about Kamala Harris, but you mean to tell me that Bud Light would not put the first woman of color VP on a beer can. I mean, that to me, I mean, you don't have to like her politics. I don't, but that's an amazing accomplishment. Why are we not honoring her? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not, because it's not about women. And here's the deal: Tyrus is transphobic. I'm not. What I am, though, is I am bullshit phobic. Sorry, radio, my bad. But Caitlyn Jenner is a perfect example of someone that I call friend, that I go to for wisdom and advice, who is living her life as a woman, but she's not degrading women to do it. She's not embarrassing women to do it. She's not making profits of money off depicting women as, like, it wasn't like she went from when she was a man world athlete and incredibly intelligent human being to all of a sudden a caricature, a performance artist.
It seems like what Caitlyn Jenner is doing is about Caitlyn Jenner. What Dylan Mulvaney is doing is supposed to be about women. And I've said this on the air. To me, Dylan Mulvaney is a trans. I will refer to Dylan Mulvaney as a transgender woman, but I will not refer to Dylan Mulvaney as a woman.
I won't. Nothing other than a character that he's playing on TV or on these things. There's nothing. I have not seen any. And again, I don't only see it when it comes across my desk. I don't have TikTok.
Yeah.
I don't care for that. I don't believe influencers influence. So I have no stake in it. But I haven't seen nothing other than making fun of women. And that's like me saying the someone put on blackface is somehow representing black. I'll call him a black man, even though his answer is mammy, and master, and gee, boss, I sure is tired today. Boy, what we gonna do, boss? If I said that was a black man, my black card needs to be revoked. Yeah. Okay, because there's a difference. There's a huge difference. If I decided to say that I was gay tomorrow, and then I made fun of every stereotype. I had the color pink on, and I was flamboyant, and all of a sudden I talked with a lisp, and I was feminine and goofy. People would be outraged that would be my depiction. My gay friends wouldn't speak to me again because I'd be in gay face. So, and nothing about me would say that I was gay other than the fact that I'm a caricature and making fun of a gay man. And that's what he's doing. So and that's all I'm seeing. And, look at me, look close to my face. I'm not going to steal your husband. Those type of things, like saying those type of things to women and then being rewarded as a woman. And then the worst part is other women partaking in it. I just don't take a knee for him. Stand up to him.
Yeah. I appreciate, like I said, I just appreciated you being bold and saying this because women are saying it. Some women aren't. Like you said, what are Megan Rapinoe? What is she doing? I don't understand it, but more men need to stand up for what is right in this instance, and women need to be able to be heard when they're talking about it. And you did that. And I'm just personally, as a woman, very grateful to you, Tyrus, for doing so.
Oh, and congratulations on your 14,000 days or whatever it is.
Yeah, I've been. I gotta find. I had to do the math. 14,239, I think, days of being a woman, and I am sitting in St. Louis. I can't get a Bud Light can. Give me a break. It's unbelievable. We'll see. I'm still trying for it. Thanks, Tyrus. We always appreciate the opportunity to talk to you.
Appreciate you. Have a great day.
Yep, you as well. Let's take a quick break. We are going to speak with Emily Compagno when we come back, co-host of Outnumbered on Fox, and we're going to talk about Kim Gardner here in St. Louis and 2023 justice. Does it even exist? Emily Compagno when we return.
Telling me I'm lost, getting too loud. Had to see a therapist and I found out something funny's going on up in my house. Yeah, started thinking maybe I should move out. Pack my car, take a new route. Clean up my yard, get the noose out. Hang up my heart, let it air out.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Well, I brought a few with me. I'm not perfect. Looking at the view like this concerns me. Picking up the cues, right? I'm quite nervous.
Let's talk about Michael's Flooring Outlet and how your flooring purchase locally owned family business here in St. Louis. The path to great value, great quality, and a great customer experience is through Michael's Flooring Outlet. You go to the website, igotfloored.com, and you quickly understand why so many 97.1 listeners, so many Annie Frey Show listeners have shopped shopped at Michael's, supported the business that partners with us, and you get the quality satisfaction that you expect. Whether you are looking for hardwood flooring, different variations of the aesthetic of hardwood flooring, they have the technology experience to help you purchase that flooring that you need for your space, be it small, residential, commercial as well. All of these options available to you, easy to shop online as well. You can request a free estimate by going to igotfloored.com, and they work very, very hard and diligently to make sure that throughout the entire process, from start to finish, that you have the satisfaction that you require as a customer of Michael's Flooring Outlet. Let's go online right now to igotfloored.com.
We've been here 30 years, 30 Christmases in this house, and we have the traditions that most families have.
That's Terry talking about her experience with Rhino Shield ceramic coating.
We did Rhino Shield 14 years ago, and the house still looks the same as the first day. Rhino Shield really worked with me to help me get just the right nice soft yellow, and it's 14 years later, and it's the same color.
The main reason Terry called Rhino Shield is because it's backed by its 25-year transferable warranty.
It just sounded wonderful that we could have the house coated with Rhino Shield and not have to worry about it again for 25 years.
Take it from Terry. Give Rhino Shield a call now for a free evaluation. 877-25-RHINO. 877-25-RHINO. Or visit 877-25rhino.com.
There have been neighbors that have come by and said, "Did you just have your house painted?" Because they wanted to know who the contractor was. And I said, "No, it's actually Rhino Shield."
877-25rhino.com.
Take a seat. Right over there.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
We got into this mess, got so aggressive. I know we meant all good intentions. So pull me closer.
Kim Gardner is asking for the quo warranto, which seeks to remove the two-term circuit attorney from office, to be dismissed. In Tuesday's new filing, she goes as far as to say AG Andrew Bailey's amended petition is a gross power grab and affront to the liberties of all Missourians and the democratic process.
Well, if you're in the city of St. Louis, like I am, and like many of us, either you work here, you've lived here, or you visit here, maybe less and less as it goes, you know that the city is a crime wreck. And it looks like cities all across the country right now who have these circuit attorneys, district attorneys that do not want to prosecute crime. Why is it that they get to choose? It's hard to understand, but Missouri has been doing something about it. I'm excited to have our next guest on the show. Emily Compagno joins us, co-host of Outnumbered on Fox. She's an attorney. She is one of the smartest, brightest, in all the right ways people that I observe on Fox News. Emily, thank you so much for some time today. We're grateful for it.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm really grateful for that introduction. I definitely don't deserve that, but thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, you know, I pay attention. I watch Outnumbered pretty much every day. We start noon Central here, so I watch your show, and then we go right into ours. And I've seen on Outnumbered specifically, you talk a little bit about the circuit attorney, Kim Gardner, here, but also how this is replicating itself around the country. With the attorney general in the state of Missouri looking to remove her from this office, I'm wondering what you think about this 2023 version of justice that Americans are experiencing across the country and what St. Louis and Missouri is specifically doing about it.
Yeah, I think, first of all, as you pointed out, so the attorney general is trying to get her removed. She has announced, as you know, however, her intention to rerun. We now know there's a challenger for her for that. And the issue that I see as well is think about how your tax dollars are being wasted there, not only on her salary, obviously, but the level of attrition that has occurred there in her prosecutor's office has led to an absolutely understaffed prosecutorial arm there in St. Louis. And we know that judges have continued to sanction her and her office for things like withholding evidence and timeliness issues. They dismiss cases, they recharge. And at heart, I personally don't believe it's malicious, obviously, on the part of all of her underlings, but I think it's just a reflection of the woefully inadequate capability and competence that she has, and then it has to do with a lack of staffing. So it's not that you have, by any means, a level of support for the people of St. Louis underneath a Soros-backed, DA in name only. Like, you guys are absolutely struggling under a really corroded office there, and it's playing out with real life consequences because not only are people going free, but also wrong people are being convicted. So the travesty there, frankly, in my opinion, just really there's no end to that breadth. And because, as we know, she was one of the first DAs that Soros backed, or at least in her original campaign. I think she's unfortunately had a lot of time to do a lot of damage. And for people who live there and for people who live anywhere in America, those consequences, they don't end. The impact doesn't end with her being ousted. Because number one, there's always a chance that somebody equal or worse gets elected or installed. Secondly, because there are more participants in the constellation, right? So it's not just the DA, it's also the elected officials, it's support for law enforcement, et cetera. And C, because for people who are injured and for people who have family members of those who are murdered, for people who are wrongfully convicted, for people who see the lack of justice for violent and crimes that have occurred to them and their family members, those repercussions last forever. So I hope that it gets better, but just know that I see you and I see what you guys are going through there, and we are all rooting for her to be ousted.
Well, I appreciate that. Emily Compagno with us right now, co-host of Outnumbered on Fox, and you see her in Gutfeld quite a bit. I always enjoy your appearances there. We just got done speaking with Tyrus. He joins us each Thursday, and we're big fans of the Gutfeld show here on the Annie Frey Show. You're mentioning, you were just talking about how, you get rid of Kim Gardner, what happens next. I live across the river in Illinois from St. Louis, and I cross this Mississippi River from the blue state to the red state. And in Chicago, they just elected a mayor who was worse than Lori Lightfoot. I'm wondering, Emily, do you feel like the frustration and the anger that voters should have in these elections, that we should see reveal itself in these elections, maybe some of these blue places are just lost to being deep, deep blue forever?
I know, it's really disheartening. And I hate to say that because, as you know, I'm the human happy hour. I'm supposed to be happy.
That's why you're here. Yeah, absolutely.
I can't help but feel that way. And certainly after that election, I had high hopes. Obviously, I was disappointed there. I'm continually disappointed by what's happening in California, and I'm continually confused as well, for example, in the midterm elections by how the turnouts occurred. So I don't know in terms of global strategy if the answer is to make red states redder or if it's to turn blue purple. I don't know. But it worries me because if we're seeing this now, I really hope that the conservative or the Republican, the GOP messaging is one of unification and dire straits. Like, I hope that the stakes are adequately and accurately communicated to voters. I hope that we harness the youth in the weird, toxic, indoctrinating way the left does. I hope that we do it through pure methods and educational methods so that people see, like, if they have any notion of freedom and safety and order and faith and the freedom to act on your faith, that's when you vote GOP and that's when you vote red. So I have high hopes, but I feel disheartened in the interim.
Yeah, there's a lot of trepidation there for people who want to see better things happen to these communities. We're speaking with Emily Compagno, co-host of Outnumbered on Fox News. She's an attorney as well. And the thing, I'm very active in Illinois politics. It seems like it's a labor of love that pays off very little, especially this past election. And my message to people in that blue state of Illinois here, especially after the non-red wave, in fact, in Illinois, blue wave midterm, was you got to stop. Conservatives you cannot have the mentality that if we just elect a Republican to government, then government will help solve the problem. You got to get into the communities, you got to identify the problems, and you have to be an active part of the solution and then just pray that the politics follow. You are somebody who supports this other side of this nasty DA, Soros-funded DA thing, crime-ridden cities. In turn, hand in hand, has really been punitive towards our law enforcement. We love law enforcement on the Annie Frey Show, and you are a partner with Blue Lives Matter NYC. And I want you to talk about this because this is a perfect example of saying, in a blue city, how can I be a part of the solution? How have you been a part of the solution to help these causes that are not being solved by the politicians in charge?
Yeah, I absolutely agree with what you said. And I think what is so devastating is to hear from law enforcement that they don't know if the community supports them, if that's been called into question. We know that, unfortunately, a lot of elected officials under this grotesque culture shift that the vocal minority have put forth have withdrawn any support, refused to support law enforcement publicly with the way that they deserve. And so it leaks down, it trickles down. So the most important thing that everyone can do is just be vocal. Tell law enforcement you're grateful for their service and you're praying for them and how much it means to you. And it You don't have to buy anything or do anything. Just telling them thank you and that you are supporting them is really huge. Use your social media to amplify your support for them, et cetera. Put a blue light bulb on your front porch. And then for organizations like Blue Lives Matter NYC, these are the charitable arms of law enforcement that essentially pulled together to support the families of the fallen. And they also support officers in current tragedies. So, children who have been diagnosed with terminal illnesses or officers with terminal illnesses, et cetera. So there's always analogs. Every police department or state police force that you can think of has an analog. So Blue Lives Matter NYC is for NYPD. There's the Detective Rafael Ramos Foundation, which was actually founded by the widow of Detective Rafael Ramos, who was assassinated along with his partner Wenjin Liu just before Christmas in an anti-police officer ambush in NYPD. And that their whole mission is to foster those community relations and to provide for underprivileged kids in the community there in New York, to show, look, officers are wonderful and they are part of the community. In New Jersey, it's the Troopers United Foundation. So, we can't donate, obviously, directly to police officers, but there's always a charitable arm. And those guys are serving in and out of uniform. So they're serving every day in their uniform. They're walking the beat, and then they go to their charity and they take care of their families, and they are ambassadors to the community, and they do good works based on donations from patriots like you and I, or just, rolling up our sleeves and saying, hey, can I help you? Can I pack boxes alongside of you? Can I show up to an event, show my support? Again, it doesn't have to be about money, but it's about showing your support because law enforcement needs it right now.
I would think, Emily, that the showing of that support publicly for the people in these communities to see would have a domino effect on if you value police presence, or if you value the hard work of law enforcement, first responders in your community, especially if it's a place that has maybe had a rise in crime, that maybe there would be more of an understanding that law and order is valued in these communities. And you're an attorney, so you understand the important part of innocent until proven guilty and the idea of prosecuting crime. And we have now gone from saying that we should be easier on nonviolent crime, and it's seeped over, especially here in St. Louis, to violent crime. It seems as though the community mentality needs to be bold in the way that it presents itself to say law and order actually still matters in 2023.
Yeah, it's shocking to me. So, for example, I mentioned that blue light bulb, and Sharon McTeague, long time, and NYPD and law enforcement, daughter, wife, mother, et cetera. She sort of launched that campaign, and it was shocking to me as she described how initially she's a realtor, how communities were, businesses were like hesitant. And then now the wave of blue, the support, but there's some type of hesitation that I think is fostered by what we've been talking about, this toxic culture and some type of fear associated with standing up and saying, no, in this home, we support law enforcement. In this town, we support law enforcement. Or, Mayor, you don't speak for me. Or even look at Los Angeles, the LA police chief. He banned flying the thin blue line flag at the headquarters there, at their police department, because it was supposed to be triggering. And yet 3 weeks before, his neighbor in the OC or in Riverside, a sheriff there had been shot by, of course, a recidivist murderer who had been let out by the DA. So how can you lose a brother in arms because of woke policies and then say we're not going to fly a flag that supports them in the police station? I mean, it kills me because I'm from California, and it just underscores again, to your point, that you show up, you show your support. It will hopefully inspire all of those people who support as well, but maybe aren't as vocal.
So important to understand that, especially in this country, that the people do hold that power unless you give it away to somebody else, or if you silence yourself. Emily, you don't ever silence yourself, and I appreciate you spending some time with us here today on 97.1. We hope to have you back again sometime.
Annie, thank you. I'm so honored to have met you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you as well. Emily Compagno, co-host of Outnumbered on Fox, an attorney. She's incredibly intelligent. She's really great at getting a point in. I don't think she gets paid by the word. She called herself the Human Happy Hour. That's like the coolest nickname ever for somebody like that. If you're interested in that organization she was talking about, just to kind of peek behind the curtain, Blue Lives Matter, NYC.org, give that a look and see what they're doing there. And then figure out in your community where you are right now, how do you step in and be an individual part of a solution. It matters. Your effort matters. Our law enforcement need to understand that they matter to us on the simple days where they don't have to do anything, dramatic and just, super frightening and involved. Every day that they put their uniform on and go to work, they know that could happen to them, and all of their family members know that as well. They need our support. They deserve our support and our respect. BlueLivesMatterNYC.org, specifically the organization that Emily Compagno was referring to. Let's take a quick break. We're going to get the substance of the Pentagon briefing that has taken place. We'll figure out what it is that they've reported so far about the leaker, what they know, what they anticipate to happen next. I will tell you this. The suspect has been taken into custody. More details when we come back.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Take a step back for a minute into the kitchen, floors are wet. And taps are still running, dishes are broken. How did we get into this mess? Got so aggressive. I know we meant all good intentions. So pull me closer. Why don't you pull me close? Why don't you come on over? I can't just let you go. Oh, baby.
Let's talk about Foley Dental, FoleyDentalGroup.com. If you are looking to book an appointment with a dentist that you want to be able to trust, that you want to be, yes, even relaxed when you go visit the dentist, it's FoleyDentalGroup.com, 618-288-9670, 618-288-9670. They have settled in nicely to their new location that is right there off of 270 and 159. It's simple to get to from anywhere. So if you are listening to us right now in the St. Louis area and you can hop on 270, you can get to Foley Dental. They will help you with whatever your needs and concerns are. For anybody in your family, they work with people of all ages. My children go to Foley Dental Group and they have a very pleasant experience. There's no worry at all about going to the dentist. With my kids, with myself, with my husband, we enjoy the experience because they do a great job. They also offer a whole health approach. Their ability to do your dental work and to be able to understand how your dental health connects with the rest of your health, your ability to sleep, your ability to breathe, it's all wrapped in, and you get that all from your visit to Foley Dental Group. Get an appointment today. Taking new patients, 618-288-9670, 618-288-9670, online at FoleyDentalGroup.com.
Hi, this is Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw, Tom's nephew. As a family business, we are committed to protecting your retirement, whether you're nearing retirement or already retired. What if it were possible to protect you from market downturns without having to make an emotional decision to buy or sell? What if you could take advantage of a strategy that would automatically take you out of harm's way during the bad years and position you for the growth opportunity during the good years?
The secret is in linking safely to the market without putting your principal at risk. By linking to the market instead of owning the market, you can participate safely on autopilot and lock in your gains without creating a taxable event. Go online at retirementkey.com for a no-obligation retirement review. Learn the strategies that have helped our clients retire with confidence for the past 36 years. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of our latest edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. So go online at retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
Finding great people to hire is like trying to find a needle in a haystack. It's pretty difficult, right? Well, ZipRecruiter has mastered finding a needle in a haystack, so they take it to the next level. They make hiring so simple that it's like finding a needle in a needle stack. And that's why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Here's what it's like to use ZipRecruiter. They have so many qualified candidates that it's easier to find the right ones for your roles. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's a lot of needles. So how do they do it? ZipRecruiter's powerful technology sends you candidates who are a great match for your job, and you can even invite your top choices to apply. So if you want less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/FREE. ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Refresh your space with new floors by Champion Floor Company. They offer ceramic, vinyl, carpet, and even natural wood floors that are sanded and finished. Schedule a free estimate at championfloor.com. Champion Floor, delivering excellence every day.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service offers insulation services. Did you know 9 out of 10 homes are under-insulated? Increase your energy savings and comfort with better insulation. For details, visit aircomfortservice.com.
Big ideas, real debate, solid entertainment. You found it here.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
97.1 FM Talk.
I wonder if those whispering pines ever told our secrets.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
A story of how the first cut is the deepest, and how some old flames just don't fade with time. We were bottle rockets in a summer love, shooting for the stars. We were blowing up moonlight kisses in a Chevrolet bed. All over my heart, over my head. You were my half-back hider, I was your glove box slider. If I tell you I knew what I was doing, I'm a liar. I was trying to play it cool with the girl on fire.
There is a full-blown investigation going on, as you know, with the intelligence community and the Justice Department, and they're getting close.
So that's President Biden saying they were getting close to the leaker. The leaker has been taken into custody. So that development has occurred. And the Pentagon was giving a briefing. We want to listen into a little bit of what they said to see about the meat of it. So they delivered this just within the last 45 minutes or so. And the FBI has made an arrest in the leaked documents case. And I think it's important that we understand exactly what the facts are behind what is going on here. I mean, Brian Kilmeade, let's cue into the television right now and listen to what Brian Kilmeade is saying about this leaks situation.
One nation in the world militarily, intellectually, with intelligence, and this is the intelligence that we show the world. Who's going to tell us a secret again?
And Brian, I just want to alert for our viewers right now, we are hearing that Attorney General Merrick Garland is expected to speak fairly soon. We don't know how soon, but we're keeping an eye out for that. Of course, that press conference is going to happen just after, you can see in the video here, the FBI making this arrest of this suspected leaker. We just heard from the Pentagon press conference earlier in the show that they were essentially referring all questions about this to the DOJ. We are now hearing DOJ Merrick Garland will be speaking shortly. Brian, what do you want to hear from AG Garland?
Number one, how about some human emotion, some outrage that this could take place? How about an immediate overhaul in the committee named to take a look at the series of events that brought us to this moment that would also encompass Chelsea Manning when he had a different first name and a different gender? Who was, by the way, what kind of message is that? He got pardoned by President Obama after giving up some secrets that embarrassed this nation for at least 10 years. And just as we started getting some credibility back, Edward Snowden just thought he'd demonstrate some sanctimonious behavior and give up all of it and escape to a communist country, which we now know as Russia. So again, time and time again, America's been caught with their pants down at the most sensitive time. We can get the intelligence, we just can't hold the intelligence. Unacceptable through three administrations.
So Brian Kilmeade reacting right now live on Fox News, and we have learned from Bill Malugin, who is also reporting on this, that the Attorney General, Merrick Garland, will be speaking on this issue, and we're going to go to that. So I'm more interested in what the Attorney General is going to say than what the Pentagon just released. We'll get the Attorney General's reaction when it happens. So keep it right here on the Annie Frey Show on 97.1 FM Talk. Fox News is reporting that the FBI agents have made an arrest in their investigation into leaked classified documents as the Bureau focuses on the Massachusetts Air National Guardsmen. Police vehicles were seen at a Massachusetts location believed to be connected with the Guardsmen. The Guardsman's security clearance and access to classified government systems has been revoked. Well, that's refreshing. They did take away his security clearance. I'm happy to hear that had happened. The Guardsmen worked on military intelligence systems on a full-time basis. The National Guard said in a statement it is aware Thursday of the, quote, alleged role Massachusetts Air National Guardsmen may have played in a recent leak of highly classified documents, end quote, from the Pentagon. The National Guard takes this issue very seriously and will support investigators. National security is our foremost priority, and any attempt to undermine it compromises our values and degrades trust among our members, the public, allies, and partners. Brad, we'll keep an eye on this right now to make sure that when the Attorney General Merrick Garland does speak on this issue, that we will hear what he has to say about it. Brad, I look across the board right now, and this country, it's very difficult for me to find a place in the United States right now, politically or anything, where we're hitting the ball out of the park.
Yeah, it just seems like the wheels are falling off on everything, from train derailments to explosions that kill 20,000 cows to leaked documents. I mean, to me, the icing on the cake was the documents, the secure documents, the top secret documents blowing down the street of Ireland on the president's visit.
It's like, of course.
Yeah, obviously.
Why not?
You know, I mean, it's just not, like you said, it's not going well. I don't know where we're doing well.
This could what took place here, is this Joe Biden's fault? It isn't.
No.
Could a leaker who was serving when Donald Trump was president have done the same thing? The answer is yes, of course, right? If Donald Trump were in office, this exact scenario could still have happened.
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
The question is, what happens now? How does this administration, how do the bureaucrats who are not supposed to be politically affiliated, what happens next? And I'm looking at dumpster fires that have gotten out of the dumpster and are spreading to the building that they're attached to right now, saying, you don't even, you see and smell the smoke, but you're not even going to check out what the problem is, and it just crumbles to the ground. I don't feel as though there is a capability in charge in this country that can take a crisis like this, that, let me reiterate, I don't believe Joe Biden is responsible for this, but he is the man in charge. He's responsible for fixing it.
Right.
He can't even answer questions from children in Ireland when he walks up to these children. Hunter Biden is there clarifying questions that kids are asking him. He's hearing different things. He doesn't have press conferences in general. You can't look at him and think that the man in charge is the one who has the solutions to implement the leadership that it takes to get the job done and get the dumpster fire put out.
Yeah. You know, I almost want, like we say, this specific incident is not Joe Biden's fault. It could happen under any president. But to your point where, like, he needs people to clarify stuff, it makes you wonder if he's actually the one that's in charge, and whether or not what we're seeing is a result of, like, a lack of a central authority on the matters.
Right. Let's see if we can cue up from the beginning of where Jennifer Griffin is talking here, and we will bring you what her reaction is to this news right now. I'm going to play for you a friend of a leaker of the U.S. secret documents, what this friend had to say about the issue.
I would not call OG a whistleblower in the slightest. I don't think that there was a goal nor some sort of accomplishment that he was looking for in sharing these documents. Of course, there's some anti-government sentiment, but that's not unlike most right-wingers in the modern day and age. OG was not hostile to the U.S. government. However, he had disagreed with several occasions, such as Waco and Ruby Ridge, and thought that the government is overreaching in several aspects. There was no heavy Snowden-like conspiracy here, like some people may believe. People were reading them, and they were not commenting on them. They were just sitting there. I want to keep OG's identity secret because I still care for him like he's a family member. He is not a Russian operative. He is not a Ukrainian operative. I'll go as far to say he's not even on the east side of the world. Any claims that he is a Russian operative or pro-Russian is categorically false.
So this is a friend of a leaker, and he said he wants to keep his identity secret. His identity has been revealed. Was it Jack Teixeira, I think is the name? And so Jennifer Griffin is reacting live on Fox News right now. Brad, let's listen in and see what she has to say.
Very frustrating Pentagon briefing where we got basically no information about how this incredible breach occurred. And then as we watch this video, this aerial video of this kid, essentially, a young Air National Guardsman who had worked the overnight over at the Cape Cod Air Base and who was at home, and that the New York Times managed to get to his family faster than the Feds. So the New York Times was there this morning talking to the family. He comes out with his hands up above his head, walks backwards towards the federal agents who are in heavy armored tactical gear. He's wearing red gym shorts and looks like any kid who's on a computer. And that's basically what he was. This is an Air National Guardsman, age 21, who was given access to the nation's top secrets. And he decided for the last 6 to 8 months to spill them online to a group of 20 to 24 teenagers. And it didn't go noticed. It didn't go noticed that these secrets had been accessed. And what we heard from Brigadier General Ryder is that there are protocols in place, that there are thousands of people with access to these top secret secrets. And here we are watching a kid being let out of his house is in custody, but no good answers as to how this happened and how it has happened repeatedly over the last few decades. As Brian has pointed out, the protocols are still not protecting the nation from these sort of lone wolf leakers.
I mean, Jennifer, and going back to your follow-up question at the Pentagon just a few moments ago, can you assess the damage done? The response was, we're still assessing the scope of this. Classified documents, sensitive information was shared by this person in a very public environment. Why can they not characterize the damage that has already been done knowing this?
Well, one thing to point out is that the Pentagon and the intelligence community was not even aware about this until a week ago when the New York Times broke the story and that it appeared on some of these Russian Telegram channels after being online on this Discord server for 6 to 8 months. We're told that there are possibly hundreds of documents that were screenshotted by this group of teenagers who were being led by this Air National Guardsman who they called the OG, who was their father-like figure in what appeared to be a sort of an online cult. And these were gamers who had a chat room and they talked about various things. The only thing at this point in time, if the interview with the Washington Post, the exclusive interview that was done with one of these other gamers, and he was a friend and was part of this group for the last 3 years, which started during the pandemic, if there's only one thing that they say is that this Air National Guardsman did not seem to think he was a spy. He didn't seem to be handled. They wanted to make clear that he was not working for the Russians. He was not pro-Russian or pro-Chinese or pro-Ukrainian. So it's the psychological profile of this leaker reminds me very much of the kind of school shooters that we see, repeatedly on the air. These 21-year-old males who are looking to feel, some sort of belonging, and the damage that can be done giving them a top TSCI clearance is just unbelievable. And it's unbelievable that after Chelsea Manning and Edward Snowden that we're still giving clearances to this kind of a young person.
Merrick Garland's taken to the microphone at the Justice Department.
Jack Douglas Teixeira in connection with an investigation into alleged unauthorized removal, retention, and transmission of classified national defense information. Teixeira is an employee of the United States Air Force National Guard. FBI agents took Teixeira into custody earlier this afternoon without incident. He will have an initial appearance at the U.S. District Court for the District of Massachusetts. I want to thank the FBI, Justice Department prosecutors, and our colleagues at the Department of Defense for their diligent work on this case. This investigation is ongoing. We will share more information at the appropriate time. Thanks, everyone.
That's it. That's the statement. Merrick Garland just came out to give like the back of the baseball card stats on what just took place. And they said that Teixeira, who is the leaker, has been taken into custody. And so now we wait and see what happens next. it's pretty amazing to hear the Attorney General take the time to come out and speak in that regard, and that's the extent of it. Brad, I would have expected maybe a little more.
Just a little more.
Brian Kilmeade had said he wanted some fire.
Yeah.
It was not fire.
That was very, hey, we got this guy. Thank you. Good job, everyone. And then he walked away.
It makes me very frustrated for, I don't know. I guess you want to see some passion. You want to see some people from the administration come out and indicate that, you know, we're gonna take care of business here, but I guess we're not gonna get that. In the next hour, we'll get everybody back here into the studio. Annie, are you okay with Anna? Which is really just written funny on my sheet here at 2:25. We're gonna do Annie, are you okay? And Anna is going to come in and do that segment with us. So I'm excited to do that. If you missed it, we spoke at 1:25 with Emily Compagno. I really, really adore Emily Compagno and her. I am not like her. She referred to herself as the human happy hour. Do you get to see much of Emily on television, Brad?
No, it doesn't usually work out for me because she's on Outnumbered, which we're on air when that's going on, and then
we're not on. It's the hour before. You're producing.
I'm doing stuff, and
Yeah.
I'm too busy to watch it. So I get to see her, but the TV's on mute.
Yeah, and she's really funny when she goes on Gutfeld. The one thing that I've noticed about Gutfeld is you get to it's a little more of a relaxed version of the buttoned up people that you see
for sure.
during the day on Fox News. It's kind of fun. And then also, did you watch much of the Tucker Carlson interview with when Tucker Carlson interviewed Donald Trump and asked who blew up the pipeline? And Donald Trump said, "I don't want to get our country in trouble, so I'm not going to say." What do you make of that?
Well, I think he said
what he didn't say. He said what he said he wasn't going to say so he could say it anyhow. So we're going to take a quick break right now. The YouTube live chat poll, should the GOP use TikTok to reach younger voters for the 2024 election? Yes or no? You let us know by going to the Annie Frey YouTube channel. Come say hi in the live chat there. We would love to see you and hear from you. Say hi if you've never been there before, especially. We would like to say hi back. Hannah is waiting for your comments to come through, and we'll feature some of those in the 2 o'clock hour as well. Your vote, yes or no? Should the GOP use TikTok to reach younger voters for 2024 election? Let us know. We'll be back for another hour of the Annie Frey Show in a minute. So Prevent Sprain Socks, online at PreventSprainSocks.com. I want you to understand how beneficial using these socks can be for your ability to stay active, to stay in the game. I use these socks specifically when I'm boxing. I do that for fitness. I also run, and having the support around my ankles, my left ankle specifically, as an athlete in high school, I busted it. I busted it really bad, was playing volleyball at practice. I was blocking, and the girl coming through to hit came under the net, my foot on top of hers. The rest is history. I, for the rest of my life, because I went back on it too soon, have had to deal with a bad ankle turning into a bad knee. If you have this type of experience and you, like me, can't be sitting on the sidelines with an ankle that's wrapped up and constantly being put in a bucket of ice, you go with Prevent Sprain Socks. You can buy your size. They have different colors. They have different sizes, crew. They even have golf socks available to you. Go online to PreventSprainSocks.com.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio. 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
The intelligence leak suspect arrested. I'm Rich Dennison. The FBI making an arrest in the investigation into the leak of classified material. Attorney General Merrick Garland moments ago announcing the arrest of 21-year-old Jack Teixeira.
In connection with an investigation into alleged unauthorized removal, retention, and transmission of classified national defense information.
The suspect identified as a Massachusetts Air National Guard member. Investigators believe the guardsman, who specializes in intelligence, led a chat group where the documents were posted. Russia might be willing to discuss a potential prisoner swap with the U.S. involving jailed Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gerskovich after his trial on espionage charges. Deputy Foreign Minister Sergei Ryabkov told the state news agency TASS that talks about a possible exchange could take place through a dedicated channel that Russian and U.S. security agencies established for such purposes. An arrest has been made in connection to the San Francisco stabbing death of Cash App founder Bob Lee.
According to the independent media outlet Mission Local, the man now in custody is a tech executive like Bob Lee was, and that the two men knew each other, though it is not clear at this point how well they knew each other. Now, a close friend of Bob Lee's tells me that it is his understanding that the two had been at a party until late in the night and that the suspect was driving Lee back to his hotel.
Fox's Claudia Cowan. The Justice Department asking the Supreme Court to weigh in after an appellate court preserved access to an abortion medication but placed some restrictions on the drug's use. The Fifth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals lifts a Texas-based judge's order to rescind the FDA's 23-year-old approval of mifepristone. The court ruling the drug cannot be delivered by mail or used after 7 weeks of pregnancy. America's listening to Fox News.
When you're an innovative business, every blinking cursor, every blank page is an opportunity. What will you do with it? Will you make something better or create something new? Our Dell Technologies advisors provide you with tools and expertise to do incredible things. Because we believe there's an innovator in all of us. For advice on smart PCs powered by Intel vPro that's built for business, call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL.
Do bank closures, inflation rate hikes, and the roller coaster of the market frighten you as much as it does me? You need to call Oxford Gold. Securing your IRA or 401k with real gold and silver is a portfolio protection plan, and Oxford Gold has made it as easy as 1, 2, 3. One app, one call, and you pick the precious metals. That's it. You now own real precious metals. Call Oxford Gold today and learn more about the 1, 2, 3 protection plan at 833-404-GOLD. That's 833-404-GOLD.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Near perfect weather continues on this Thursday afternoon. Lots of sunshine, a warm day. 82 for the high, 89 the record. That goes back to 1941, so that's safe. Tonight, 70s, partly cloudy skies, 52. Friday, partly sunny, 78. Changeable skies Saturday. A couple of showers and thunder showers around Saturday afternoon, 78, and a cooler 58 on Sunday with sunshine. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Finding great people to hire is like trying to find a needle in a haystack. It's pretty difficult, right? Well, ZipRecruiter has mastered finding a needle in a haystack, so they take it to the next level. They make hiring so simple that it's like finding a needle in a needle stack. And that's why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Here's what it's like to use ZipRecruiter. They have so many qualified candidates that it's easier to find the right ones for your roles. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's a lot of needles. So how do they do it? ZipRecruiter's powerful technology sends you candidates who are a great match for your job, and you can even invite your top choices to apply. So if you want less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Ruler Foods is there to help you save on your grocery bill every time you shop. You don't have to clip coupons. You don't have to go through a bunch of pre-game studying to make sure that you can save 50 cents here and $1 there. You just save. It's really very simple. You shop, you go to Ruler Foods, you walk through their stores that are very intelligently laid out and very clean and easy to shop, and you save. The other thing that I really appreciate about Ruler Foods, which as I have grown in my relationship with them, I understand how much they value being involved in the communities where their locations are, being able to help and give back and provide people an opportunity to do so in a very cost-effective way. When you go past your Ruler Foods, when you're driving to and from work or to pick up the kids or whatever it might be, and you haven't gone in yet, next time take a moment, take 15 minutes and go walk through Ruler Foods and see all of the different name brands that you can save on and also the Kroger brands that are there at Ruler Foods prices. Find the Ruler Foods closest to you at rulerfoods.com.
There are over 10,000 reasons why steel is not sold at Lowe's or the Home Depot. Find tools for the job site or your own backyard at over 10,000 authorized local steel dealers. Find yours at steelusa.com.
Hi guys, it's Mark with Pineview Medical Clinic. Are you struggling with erectile dysfunction and sick of the pills? Well, we have a major medical advancement that has helped thousands of men. Our wave technology is backed by 60 clinical studies, including from Cambridge University. It's been shown to increase blood flow by repairing blood vessels. No pills and no side effects. If you're ready to put a stop to your ED, call us now, and not only will the assessment and blood flow ultrasound be free, but will also include something unique that produces powerful results in the bedroom. You're going to love that one, guys. Trust me. This unprecedented offer is worth $600, but it's free to those who call in the next 2 minutes. Call 314-530-7777. That's 314-530-7777. Guys, put a stop to your erectile dysfunction and get your life back. Call Pineview Medical Clinic now to qualify. 314-530-7777.
The only person who can change your life is you, but you need to know how. Listen to my show, The Del Walmsley Radio Show, where the hype ends and the help begins.
Listen to the Del Walmsley Radio Show this Saturday afternoon from 1 to 2 p.m. on 97.1 FM Talk.
Fact-checking the mainstream media daily.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
You found it here. 97.1 FM Talk.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. The big news of this afternoon so far, 21-year-old Jack Teixeira, who is a Massachusetts Air National Guardsman, has been arrested by the FBI in the probe of classified documents that he leaked on Discord, which is like a gamer channel of such. Brett Baer has just been reacting to this on Fox News, and this is like immediate breaking news. So let's listen in.
How extensive this leak was and who this man is, 21 years old. And it appears, according to Jillian Turner's reporting, essentially an IT worker, communication system, not someone steeped in the intel world, and how that person gets access to these documents. And some of them, you know, you could see being a part of an intel circle, but some of the stuff that was out there was finished product by the CIA and by the DIA and by Pentagon planners. I mean, this was in deep, dark places where only a few people are supposed to see it, but many, many people have seen it. That's one thought about it. The second thought is this is different than we've seen in previous cases. By all accounts right now, the information was meant for this small thug shaker central group online and was not meant for wide distribution. It wasn't that this person was leaking it to the media. It wasn't that he was a whistleblower of some kind saying, look at all the things that are going on. He was sharing it with that group that you called his family, but these people have talked out and spoken about how OG dealt with them. The last thing I'll say is, where was the investigators in the FBI and elsewhere? It seems that the Washington Post and then the New York Times scooped all of those investigators in getting to the heart of who this was and finding them. We don't have the backstory yet, but it does seem like they were ahead of the curve.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it has to be embarrassing on levels here for them, that this Bellingcat organization and other people who are very astute at how to get around and find things in these places on the internet. And you think about General Austin the other day saying, well, you know, it's somewhere in the web, but we're not exactly sure where. I don't think it engenders a great deal of confidence on the part of Americans in the highest echelons of our defense and national security.
Right, and that's the biggest issue. On 30,000 feet, you know, this case will go forward. We'll find out more about this guy and what he was thinking and perhaps his motives as the trial goes forward, and the Attorney General saying that processing, the arraignment will happen this afternoon. But bigger than that is what allies around the world think of this, about not only the information that got out, and in some cases was embarrassing, but also the ability of the U.S. to keep a secret. And that's a big issue when you're dealing with allies that have choices of who to ally with.
So Brett Baer reacting in live reaction to the latest news here that this Air National Guardsman, Jack Teixeira, is 21 years old. He put classified documents on this website called Discord, and this might be something that's unfamiliar to a lot of people. Brad, you said you're familiar with it.
Yeah, I'm part of several Discord servers.
Have you seen any classified documents?
I have not. No, we don't have a
have you posted any classified Annie Frey Show documents on
no.
Discord?
Absolutely not. If we had
I don't know that any of us would ever know how to access those. So.
If we had an Annie Frey Show Discord,
Mm-hmm.
then we could. The interesting thing about Discord is me and my friends mainly use our Discord channels, our different Discord channel servers, if you will, for voice communication when we're playing games. Not all games have a
Let's take it back a minute. You're already speaking in words that I don't understand. Discord.
Discord is the website. You go to discord.com.
Is there anything that's like Discord? Is there anything that does what Discord does? It's just, Rumble and YouTube, kind of the same thing?
No. The closest I would say would be TeamSpeak, but no.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just like TeamSpeak.
Yeah.
So they call it a voice.
But, important differences.
A voice client. So it allows you to basically have voice over internet communication with other people. But what Discord does that a lot of these other ones don't is they also have like a message board within it. And
so a modern application of Discord, we've heard a lot of people say that gamers use Discord.
Yes, it is huge in the gaming
What
community.
would the purpose of what problem does Discord solve for gamers?
So one, it allows you to communicate with other people that are playing the same game as you, because not all games allow you to communicate inside the game.
Okay.
Or if you don't want to be part of the game and you just want to communicate with your people, you can go into a Discord server and communicate that way. The other thing it does is if you are...
So it's like a 3-way call.
Yeah, or 4-way or 8-way or however many people join.
I just had 3-way calling.
So, yeah.
Can you call more than 3 people on a 3-way call?
I think the idea is that it's a 3-way call.
We had our limitations.
The other thing it allows
don't
you
need
to
to speak
do
to 4 people.
is create a community where you can share different pictures or whatever.
Message board?
Yeah, message board. And so like if you're a streamer, you can have your communication going on with the other people that are streaming with you and broadcasting that, while also connecting with your community through the message board. And that, since it's persistent, it goes on even whenever you're not logged on.
So is the message board kind of like a Reddit?
Yeah. A Reddit or even a Facebook, where you could just comment on other people's stuff. And you can subdivide it and put locks in different areas. And
so you can have a community on Discord of a mutual interest.
Right.
Is it all built? I mean, is it like 99% built around gaming?
Yeah, for the most part. Everybody that I see on
a small category of people sharing classified documents.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, how do you... And so would he have been sharing this... Could anybody have accessed it, or he...
So you can have your Discord server as open or as locked down as you want. And that's what the big appeal is you can have a password. You can have it be invite only, so you can only get into this if somebody from within the server invites you in. Or you can have a password where, if you know the password, you can get into the server. And then within that server, you can have different chat boards that also have passwords or are locked out or limited by roles that you assign to people that join your Discord server. So it could be very locked down to where only administrators and moderators can get into a certain area of it, or it could be wide open where anybody on the internet could get in.
Christopher says in our chat that Discord is the coffee of social media, and I've been sitting here thinking, I don't know what that means, but then he followed up with, you have to acquire the taste. And I was like, oh, I get it. I was thinking way too deep about it. Not the Bud Light of social media.
No.
So
that would be TikTok.
This doesn't sound, Brad, like it's a deep, dark web place to post documents.
No, it's where gamers post memes.
So this guy doesn't sound like he's a deep hacker kind of guy.
No, this is not a 4chan. This is not any of those like dark web. It's none of that.
Isn't it interesting how the more details you find out, you're like, this guy's just casually doing this.
Yeah.
Like I was saying with, I guess it was Cully Stimson at 1225 with the Heritage Foundation. Do we know if he had some like nefarious plot to try to shake his fist at the man and share our secrets, which is what Edward Snowden did and Chelsea Manning, I guess, as well. And it's almost like, no, he's trying to impress some kids. What? Like, huh? Aren't there other ways?
Yes.
is this guy the most afraid man in America right now?
No, he is arrested.
Well, I mean, but does he feel like it doesn't, I don't get the picture that he was like, I know what I'm getting into here. That he really.
Jennifer Griffin said on
boofed
Kill
this.
Me's show that this is, if there's ever been a case for the death penalty, this is it.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. 21 years old.
She said that very matter-of-factly. It's a bold statement. This would be treason.
Yeah. Yeah, you're just going to share some cool pictures with your bros on the Discord channel, and
let's put this into perspective here, because it seems to me, and oh gosh, I didn't know that this was going to happen this way. Listen to this. This is a coach from the Ragin' Cajuns. Who's the Ragin' Cajuns?
This is Louisiana.
Louisiana. Do you know how to say his name? Robichaux? Tony Robichaux? It looks French. I was reading Twitter, and this story was something I was going to do on Friday. And the idea was that youth in baseball right now have no fear of losing. There's nobody out there that's not true. There's not nobody, but there is a very obvious disintegration in that burning fire to win. That losing has become more acceptable. And I believe that the person who I originally saw tweeting this was a pro baseball player and was just kind of lamenting this attitude of youth that have come into, and I think this individual might be a college baseball coach as well. And the conversation that was taking place is, why is it that baseball players aren't getting up to an elite level at college or in the pros, but more so college? Why is it that they get into college and the idea of losing doesn't disgust them? That there's an instance where they're like, eh. And there were a lot of people replying. I find that very interesting. There are a lot of people who were replying and suggesting that when you play baseball year round and there is a tournament every weekend and you're constantly thinking of your own metrics and your exit velocity and blah, 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 there's so much information that losing becomes one piece of information, and you're playing so much all the time that you're going to lose and you're going to become desensitized to that because there's always the next time. So it was part of the conversation. I find it fascinating. I think it's an interesting case study. Like the idea of youth sports right now, I'm in the thick of it. And I got a lot to say about it. How does that fit in with all of this? Listen to what this college coach, you said Louisiana, right? Or did I just infer that because it's
said
French?
Louisiana.
Yeah, I think it's Louisiana. The Ragin' Cajuns. This is what he had to say about
Kids
kids.
haven't changed. I'm going to tell you what's changed is what we demand from kids. So I don't think you should fool a kid into a false model. That's just my theory. That's why if it's a working model, then why is 48% of Major League Baseball for a foreign country? They don't come in from select baseball. They don't come in from getting big rings. I'm going to tell you what they come in from. They come in from throwdown. And the day that Cuban throws down against my grandkid, he loses. Why? Because he's got him a ring. That Cuban don't have no ring, man. At Puerto Rico. You seen those guys play in the World Baseball Classic? The energy and the passion they play with? Man, that's coming from the love of throwdown.
How broad is this statement past baseball? Because, I don't know anything about Jack Teixeira. He's 21 years old. He's trying to impress kids on Discord. This doesn't fit into my brain. I grew up in the 80s and the 90s. It's different than a kid or a grown person who's 21 years old right now. They just grew up in different times. As a millennial born in 1984, I grew up in a different time than my parents did, who grew up in, where there was the baby boom, post-war, lots of prosperity everywhere for people to partake in. We don't show our kids the value of losing. We protect them from it. We take that away from them. And all that is left is an insatiable need to be self-satisfied. And that occurs for a kid, something satisfies them, they make a short list of how they are satisfied, and then the rest of society and culture, oh my gosh, this just brings in every issue that we're facing right now, is that everything about you is inherently okay because you are you. That's your truth, barf. The idea that somebody might look at you and think, that's not, you shouldn't be like that. You should be like this. You should aspire to be better. Aspire to be better? How dare you suggest that there is something wrong with me? And if we're living in a world where everything we do is inherently okay because I can choose to live in my own reality and force you to subscribe to it, I can choose to be outside of what society considers normal. In fact, don't even use the word normal anymore because normal is subjective. I grew up in a time where you were encouraged to be highly underweight. Now we are growing up in a time where we are celebrating people who are highly overweight. And if you were to suggest to a loved one, if they don't see it themselves or if they're struggling with it, if they come to you and be like, I'm just frustrated with my weight right now, and, I'm not sure if I'm going to live a healthy lifestyle or if I'm going to live past a certain age because I'm overweight. Culture tells you right now to tell that person, you're perfect just the way you are. You are beautiful. Everything about you is wonderful. Don't go changing. That might be the most hateful thing you could say to that person in that time. Because the truth does hurt. And if you love a person, you can deliver an element of truth to an individual that is going to hurt them in order to save them, in order to help them. What is a 21-year-old doing in the Air National Guard who is so soft that there is an interest in impressing other kids on Discord? That makes absolutely zero sense in the reality that I live in, but every single day I'm being exposed to the fact that the reality I live in is not the one that kids and people in the younger generation are growing up in today. And that makes me sound like the oldest person on the planet. What is it about youth today that is so soft that this self-gratification of every move that they make, everybody else has to buy into it? How quickly do we destroy our culture and our country with that being the epicenter of our mentality? Let's talk about it when we come back. Your comments as well on the Annie Frey YouTube channel. Join us in the live chat. You can also vote in the YouTube poll, which is right there in the live chat. Should the GOP use TikTok to reach younger voters for the 2024 election? Yes or no? Cannot wait to see what the results of this poll will be. So stick around. We'll have those with Hannah at 2:45. Your thoughts and comments and ours here in the room on this issue, the soft generation that is up and coming, when we come back. Don't go away.
Got you home safe, placed you in your bassinet.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Gently felt my heart melt because I knew I loved you more than life itself. Into my knees and I begged the Lord, please let me be a good daddy.
Planning for retirement is something that starts when you're young. Maybe it didn't start as young as you wish, but you did. You started saving and you've accumulated a nice nest egg. You want to know, now that you're in your late 50s, maybe in your 60s, is this going to pay off the way I need it to? Thomas Helbig, Bob Kershaw, Tammy Kershaw at the Retirement Advisory Group are there to make sure that you have the confidence and the ability to retire when you want, the knowledge of what is to come, and to protect you from the dramatic ups and downs that might occur in the market. Reach out to Thomas Helbig at the Retirement Advisory Group and schedule an appointment today. Sit down, have a conversation, learn about the things that he does to work with people to make sure that they are comfortable, that they are worry-free when they enter into that retirement. 314-993-9494. That's 314-993-9494. You sit down with them, and then you make a decision. Do I want to go down this path with Retirement Advisory Group, like so many other Annie Frey Show listeners have? You get to be in the driver's seat, and you make the call. Your key to a worry-free retirement is a phone call away. 314-993-9494. Online as well at retirementkey.com.
Behind every great fortune lies a great crime. But what poisonous secret lies under one of the nation's most prestigious universities? Uncover the crime at the heart of Stanford University and the new true crime series, Bitter Academia.
After a while, Jade Stanford learns that when this much money is at stake, you cannot really trust anyone.
Listen on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hello, I'm Howard Mackler, founder of Innovation Refunds. You've heard me talking about the payroll tax refund for months. I'm so proud that we've helped over 15,000 businesses claim over $5 billion in cash incentives. If you own a business, even if you've asked your CPA about this, you owe it to yourself to take another look. Every client is assigned a licensed and insured tax attorney who evaluates your company at my expense to accurately determine eligibility. Innovation Refunds has hundreds of 5-star reviews on Trustpilot and Google, and your business might be entitled to receive up to $26,000 per employee. Businesses of all types can qualify, including medical, professional, construction, even nonprofits. Please don't miss out on this. Even your doctor would tell you to get an expert second opinion, and we do a lot of work for doctors. Download the Innovation Refunds app now or go to getrefunds.com to potentially get a payroll tax refund of $26,000 per employee. Getrefunds.com. GetRefunds.com.
Retired or retiring soon? How much money do you need to live comfortably? Retirement Planners of America is here for you. Would you like to have financial peace of mind? Here's how. Step 1. Find out the amount of money you'll need to retire. Step 2. Have a plan to get there. Step 3. Make sure that plan can take advantage of market gains but protect you from market losses. Discover how to do all three with a free consultation at 800-508-6108. That's 800-508-6108.
All investments involve risk, including losses. Past performance does not guarantee future results.
If you have ever thought about remodeling your bathroom but were worried it would take too long or cost too much, then stop worrying. Right now, Jacuzzi Bath Remodel has designed a collection of high-quality custom products and perfected the one-day remodeling experience so you can enjoy your new bathroom faster than ever before. It's a worry-free bath remodel from the most trusted brand name in the business, Jacuzzi. For a virtual or in-home appointment, call 800-826-9895. That's 800-826-9895. 800-826-9895.
Rhino Shield is far superior to even the best traditional exterior house paint. Rhino Shield is 8 to 10 times thicker than paint and comes with a 25-year transferable warranty. Rhino Shield is the only ceramic coating company that has been chosen by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where every episode is concentrated on unpainted brick, bonds and seals to stucco, wood, hardy, block, color lock, masonite, and more. No better product for those steel aluminum-sided homes that have become, chalky and tired looking. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. After 15 years, we've got a great reputation and a superior product. As long as it's affordable, why wouldn't you do it? Before you make the costly mistake of painting with traditional paint, you'd be best served to call Rhino Shield today. We are the experts and our evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
The features you always dreamed of are here. We're talking about rewinding the radio. Listen on the Odyssey app and rewind whenever you'd like. Or catch up on entire shows within 24 hours of air. This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Quite a busy day today. The news has broken that the FBI has arrested Massachusetts Air National Guardsman Jack Teixeira in the probe of the classified documents leak. So that news will continue to break throughout the day. Before we get to Annie, are you okay here with Anna, which is funny. Every time I read that, I know. I just want you to know that I'm absolutely okay with you.
Awesome.
I'm very happy with you. Not that you need that to go on through your day, but it just says on here, Annie, are you okay with Anna? And I feel like it deserves an obvious response. I was talking about the baseball coach who was talking about how kids don't want to win anymore and how in America, you've got kids who are in select baseball and they're playing all year round. And there's going to be, his words, a Cuban kid who knows what the throwdown is, Brad. And then that kid versus the American kid, the Cuban kid's winning out.
Yes. Yeah, because you're soft. It's interesting because he was talking about the throwdown and it's that lack of fear of losing. We don't keep score anymore, and so what ends up happening is kids get this mindset that it doesn't matter if I do my best or not. What'll end up happening is they're going to take care of me anyway.
Yeah.
So you experience losing, but what you experience isn't actual real losing.
Sure.
So to me, one of the best things you can do as a parent is show your kid how to handle adversity, because life is going to throw adversity at you.
And be better next time.
Yeah. Understand, identify. We do this on the air. Understand, identify what went wrong, and then now that you know what the problem is, have a plan to address that problem the next time it comes around. Understanding that losing isn't the end of the world, but it's not a good thing. And, you know, the throwdown is what he's talking about there is that desperation. It's not just that you don't want to lose, but you want so badly to win, because for the Cuban kids, it's a way out.
What do you think, Ryan?
I think we're talking about a pervasive mindset in America that values equity. That we've taught equity pretty much up and down the line. And so nothing really matters if you don't win, if you don't succeed. It doesn't matter because somebody's going to prop you up anyway.
Yeah, when everybody's a winner, what does it matter?
It doesn't. Yeah, I think that we've just made it to where, you know, that's okay. It doesn't really matter because ultimately nothing really matters. Everybody's equal because we make the outcome equal.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Well, let's get to the Anna part of this segment. I'm excited
And
about this.
now it's time to play Is Annie Okay With This?
Hi, Anna.
Hello.
Hi. Big day.
Yep, big day.
Good to have you here.
Thank you. So my first topic actually has a lot to do with what you were just talking about. There's a group of lawmakers in North Carolina that believe there's a serious problem with the youth of today, and that problem is participation trophies.
Wait, you go back to
Wait a minute.
Hit the bell. Hit the bell.
You said California? Is that what you said?
North Carolina.
North Carolina. Okay, I heard that wrong, and everything makes a lot more sense right now.
So it's the article saying no matter how you finish in a sports season, everyone gets a trophy, and they think that that mindset is making kids soft. So there are people wanting to ban participation trophies altogether. So are you okay with participation trophies?
I am not okay with participation trophies. I'm wondering what like an act of government looks like to ban participation trophies.
I know.
Though. How many tax dollars is it going to take to make that thing go through? I don't. My kids have gotten participation ribbons. Like when I think when my son was playing 5-year-old or 6-year-old Little League, at the end of the season, they all get a ribbon. I'm okay with that. They're 6-year-olds playing Little League. There's no competition where you lose. I mean, you don't even, I don't know. It's like you do a bunch of things during that youth level of Little League so kids can learn how to play the game. That's completely fine. But you get a little bit further down the road and you continue to get this affirmation of showing up, and that's not sustainable in society. I will add to this, though, and something that I don't think a lot of people talk about, because this to me is, participation trophies are bad, winning is important, winning is everything. There is an absolute counter to this where people need to start learn how to win with dignity and integrity as well. Because the opposite side of the coin of let's not celebrate and glorify losers. I said that for the MAGA people out there. I look at the other side of the coin and, I've seen people, good grief, the amount of time I spend in youth sports is obnoxious. And I've seen people who win, grown human beings who live their lives for the 8th grade basketball win in a way that I can't stress this enough. Everybody is talking about you.
Ooh.
Everybody is judging you.
And now it's on the radio.
Everybody out there is like, yeah, they really want this bad. I understand pouring yourself into coaching and wanting to teach these kids how to do things and wanting this to pay off in victories. That's important. But institution after institution after institution, where I see people who win without any integrity is potentially likely more obnoxious than handing out participation trophies for everyone who showed up.
1,000%.
Do you agree with that?
Oh, I agree with that. And sometimes you get the impression of those people, that person that you described, they're not out there to win for the kids.
No, there's something in your childhood.
They are living their life through their children.
It would be better to sit on a couch with a grown certified therapist and work it.
Yeah.
I think you also made a great point at the very beginning there when you said, how many tax dollars is it going to take for the government to step in and not make something? That's pretty much government in a nutshell, isn't it?
Depends. Depends on who's in charge. Not okay with participation trophies.
All right. So our next one, people are turning to ChatGPT for a lot of things, but I think this one might take the cake. People are turning to AI to write their wedding vows. So they're saying not only can AI get the ball rolling, it can also add personal stories,
No, not
Shakespeare quotes, and even a punchline or two.
Do you know what I don't want is to have my husband quote me Shakespeare from ChatGPT. If you're motivated by Shakespeare, I'm going to know it.
Yeah.
If Jared starts quoting Shakespeare to me, I'm like, give me your phone. Give me your phone right now.
Oh, man.
I'd rather my husband quote Yogi Berra than Shakespeare to me because it would feel real.
Or Boo Boo.
And not, what?
Yogi Berra or Boo Boo.
No, Yogi
no.
Berra, not Yogi Bear, Ryan.
Yeah, like the baseball player who is famous for his quotes.
Yeah.
No, I don't. Why do these? I don't know. Are you a?
I've never used it.
Are you a dabbler?
No, I've never tried it before. My sisters have.
Yeah.
And they like it.
Are they writing wedding vows?
No, they're
Nobody
writing
is.
their school papers.
Well, there it is, too.
There's
and that's on the radio, too.
Yep.
Did you say, were we talking about how an educator that you know was educated in the way to suss these out?
Actually, the turnitin.com has a way of checking to see if this came through ChatGPT now. GPT.
I don't know if they've looked into ChatGPT yet, though.
Yeah,
They might want to,
that's a
though.
Now
call.
that's on the radio.
Mm-hmm. You know what,
Kids
though?
everywhere going, God, Brad, knock it off.
With sorry guys, do your own homework.
The people
Win with
need to know.
integrity.
Yeah.
All right.
Or copy your cousin's paper.
You know
like
what?
A self-respecting cheater.
This is something. When she's talking about wedding vows, as somebody who's performed wedding ceremonies, I hate.
You should have a trap door.
Oh my gosh, I hate certain wedding vows because they're not a vow. It's not a vow.
What is it?
It's like a soliloquy. It's a love letter, but that's not what your wedding vow is supposed to be. Your wedding vow is supposed to be your commitment to the person that you're marrying.
Define the difference.
So a wedding vow is like, I swear that I will do X, Y, and Z. You know, the old
dishes.
to have and to hold,
Pay the bills.
in sickness and health until death do you part. That sort of thing. You get since the first day I met you. You were the most
I'd rather
beautiful
get
person.
that.
No, yeah, but that's not a vow. You can have that, and like that's the thing about wedding ceremonies. You can write that in there, but do a vow. Make the promise.
Make a commitment.
Yes.
Not just say how cool you are.
Yeah, I really like you. You're awesome.
Anna and I were talking about this before we came in. How mad would you be if you found out your partner wrote your vows off of ChatGPT?
GPT.
PT. Look out for the GBT also out there.
This is a highly reliable source of information here.
GBP.
Man, they were just
I know a
mad
ton
at the
about
whole
this.
alphabet.
Great Britain pound.
I would be very upset. Now, if you were to do like a best man, maid of honor thing and source ChatGPT, admittedly and openly, and it was funny, but like at the altar,
The vow. Not even like a love letter.
ChatGPT promises to havingtohold.com. It just seems like this is going. To me, again, it's making everybody softer.
Mm-hmm.
And ladies, isn't the one thing you want to know the most is what's from inside the heart.
From the heart.
If I'm not using
the
it to
computer
write
screen.
mine, they shouldn't be having to use it to write theirs.
Are you using it to write yours?
I'm not.
There's actually a whole South Park episode about this where Stan's trying to get this girl, and he's like, "You always have good, luck with the ladies. What do you do?" He's like, "Oh, ChatGPT. I just have them."
Really?
Yeah. And he talks about having it text the girl.
No, I'm actually not okay with ChatGPT, BTPG in any way, shape, or form for anything. I've never used it myself. I'm avoiding it.
All right. Our next story, there's a couple in Colorado. They have 3 children, and they just celebrated their 10-year anniversary, and they decided to find out about their family
How many
tree.
children?
3.
3?
They ordered DNA tests, and that's how they found out they're actually cousins.
Oh, and that's on the radio.
That's not where I saw that was going.
First cousins?
So the test couldn't determine the exact degree. They said 2nd to 7th, which is quite a large gap.
I'd be hoping for 7th if I were them.
Yeah. The woman said, quote, "My kids and my husband are my everything, and we have looked past it. All our kids have 10 fingers and 10 toes. It's a good icebreaker.
What's against the people with 9 toes or 9 toes or 9 fingers?
There are people that love no matter what or who. So why can't I love my cousin by accident?
Well, what are people suggesting they should do?
Yeah, what do
Get
you
a
do
divorce,
now?
I guess? I mean, yeah, it's too
10
late.
years.
No, you're in.
Right,
You're
you
done.
got
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah, you already got kids. Are you okay with dating your cousin? Marrying your cousin?
I have some pretty cool cousins.
Whoa. All right.
I'm also happily married and not going to date my cousin. But I mean, that's going to be a situation that is unfortunate. But at the same time, at that point in this specific instance, what are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you just burn the report and pretend it never existed.
Except for that article that was written on it.
She went on
Talked about in
social
St.
media.
Louis.
She went on social media and decided to post it herself because she thought it was funny.
Funny.
Let's talk about whether I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
That seems dumb. Why does everybody need to know your business?
Especially that.
They don't.
That is so
I would have got
Hey,
those DNA
guys.
results and I just put those away.
Yeah, I wouldn't have even
Like,
told
oh,
my significant other.
Nobody else needs to know this. I'll take this one to my
Are
grave.
you going to the family reunions and seeing like, wait, I thought you were which one are you related to and how and figuring this out? If you're going to have people, that's the number one thing I feel like comes out of these stories where people do the DNA test results is you find out that maybe your lineage isn't what you thought it was, or maybe mom or dad had a relationship that you didn't know about, or there's a sibling that you didn't know about. So these people are out there all over the place who don't necessarily know who mom and dad are. So this stuff is going to happen. And at that point, I don't really know what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Other than maybe not talk about it on social media. I just, good grief. Why? I just don't understand. Does it say how old they are?
It didn't. They've been married for 10 years.
Seems like they're probably my age. That sucks. We'll talk about it on the internet. Stay married. You've got your family. Everything is fine.
There we go.
Keep it to yourself. And your family trees. Tree.
Tree is a stick.
Yeah.
No branches.
Could there be a little more going
Teach
on
the
there?
kids, maybe research a little bit before you get married, kids.
So another story, there is an officer in Minnesota who pulled someone over last week, and when they asked the man for his license and registration, he handed him a get-out-of-jail-free Monopoly card.
Ooh, did it work?
So
was he in jail? It's a little,
yeah, true.
That's a little preemptive, don't you think?
Wouldn't that be amazing if it did work?
Why don't you tell me what else you have in this vehicle that you thought this card might be necessary?
It would be really hard for me as a cop not to go. All right.
All right.
It's like the reverse card.
So the officer posted this on Facebook and wrote, "Unfortunately, the state of Minnesota does not recognize this as a valid document. Points for effort and humor, though. Even though he posted that, he did let them off with a verbal warning.
Yeah.
So it
Nice.
did work.
Did it say what he pulled him over for?
Probably, I would assume speeding.
So,
but
I mean,
have
like,
no
he did
idea.
something that he could have anytime been like, hey, what are you doing? Oh, I got to pee really bad.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, well, you need to slow down in the future. I'm so sorry.
He just had it on hand.
Gabriel Iglesias said it best. He said, if you can make them laugh, you have a chance.
Is that Fluffy?
Yep.
Oh, he's funny. He's very funny. That's
So
true.
are you okay with using humor to get out of a speeding ticket?
Yeah, you can give it a shot. I am so. I've been pulled over for speeding before, and I've gotten tickets, and I've gotten let go of tickets. But I am so worried about putting on a show, about being perceived as putting on a show. I just sit there. I'm like, I'm sorry. I just hand it myself. I'm like, I'm really sorry. I was hurrying to get home, and I was driving too fast, and I'm sorry.
Are you a crier?
No.
Man, I
No.
know somebody
If
who
I
is.
wanted to muster tears, I couldn't do it. I would actually probably end up laughing.
I could cry if I wanted to, but I never have.
Like, you gotten pulled over?
Not for speeding.
For what else?
Oh.
Go on.
Technically, it was reckless driving because I.
La, la, la.
Forget the rest of the week's show. Book Anna. We're going to put her in a chair, and we're
It
going to have
was-
the rest of this conversation
It
with
was
Anna.
bid day, and I had people hanging out of my windows.
Bid day.
Yes,
Which is
for
a
my
sorority thing.
Yes.
Oh, that's
And-
not
and-
bidet.
And
Gross.
when you are doing bid day, and they're like, naturally, the thing you do is hang out of the windows while you're
Everyone
driving.
was doing it, so I was like, it's okay.
This is fantastic.
Well, I was in a limo.
And the officer said,
So
no, ma'am, this
everyone else
get out
in
of
my
jail
car
card will not
cried.
work.
I had a full car. Everybody was crying.
What were you
I
doing?
didn't cry. In my mind, I knew I was not getting a ticket. I don't know why.
Yeah, you do.
I was so confident.
Did you get a ticket?
No.
Well, you were right.
And he was like, technically, we can arrest you.
Oh.
And I still
And
was
you
just
said,
like,
but you're not.
you're not.
What? You did?
No, I didn't say that.
Man. All right.
Did you ever do that again?
No.
You probably could.
Really?
Yeah, I have not done that again.
Okay. Oh, after we get done here, you can take Ryan and hang him out the window.
Yeah.
No, there are no police in St. Louis who are going to stop you for that. They're going to look at you guys and go, oh, they're probably fine.
I've seen worse.
Yeah.
As long as it's a limo, and I can say I'm the king of the world.
It's like they're on the
Yeah.
street. They're not on the sidewalk, so let them
Go ahead.
All right, book it.
Scooter says everyone else was doing it is a good excuse. It is an excuse. Or as I've been lately explaining a lot to my kids, no, that's an explanation. That is not an excuse. There's a difference.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
learned that day.
All right. Are we good? Are we ready to? Okay. You got one. All right. Well, Anna, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm okay with you. And I guess I want you in my car if I'm getting pulled over.
She can prognosticate.
I knew I
will
didn't,
get a ticket
I didn't
here.
cry because I knew I wasn't getting arrested. Did you get arrested? Nope.
Perfect.
That is a short story. All right, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get the results to the YouTube live chat poll. Should the GOP use TikTok to reach younger voters for the 2024 election? Yes or no? You tell us what you think. Go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel, the live broadcast there in the live chat. That's the poll. You can leave your comments. Hannah will have them for you when we come back. Don't go away.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Stewart's American Mortgage, the bagel loan, is easily accessible through this guy and this guy only. Once you meet Stewie, you're going to understand quickly how he does business differently than the rest of the folks out there. He does it directly with you. It's an old-fashioned way of doing business that keeps your particular story, your particular instance in mind and caters to you. How about a 15-day close on that new home purchase that you're looking to make? You get your pre-approval number, you know what you can spend, then you go into the website and you generate those pre-approval letters at your own whim. You don't have to wait for a third party to come in and get that for you and potentially slow down the process. The bagel loan means that you pay no closing costs. You go in and you purchase that home, but the closing costs, you don't have to pay them. This is going to make you a much more competitive buyer. It's going to save you money. And all you got to do is call or text Stewie, 314-324-4440. If you're looking to purchase a home, reach out to Stewie and ask him how he can help you with the bagel loan. 314-324-4440. You can Google the bagel loan as well. NMLS number 226715.
You had a solid retirement dream. Sell your home in a few years, bank the equity, downsize, and travel. But inflation and recession has you wondering if all your hard-earned equity will still be there. What if you could recession-proof your equity right now? You can with TrueHold. TrueHold will buy your home for its best current value before a recession can erode it. You get to bank all the cash now and live in your home for as long as you want. And TrueHold covers all property taxes, insurance, repairs, and maintenance. And since TrueHold pays your home's current value in cash now, it's yours to do whatever you'd like. Don't wait for inflation, recession, and interest rates to erode your home's value. Visit TrueHold.com and discover how much TrueHold will buy your home for today based on its best current value, not what's coming. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without having to move. That's TrueHold.com.
If you're looking at new windows for your house, choose wisely. Mark Cox here for my friends at Window World. You want to go with a company you can trust. Ranked #1 in the number of windows sold in the country. That's according to Qualified Remodeler magazine. In just over 20 years in business, they've improved the look and obviously the thermal efficiency of over 70,000 customers in St. Louis. They're going to give you a lifetime warranty that covers all the parts and the glass breakage and the labor. it's a good product. Call them at 314-993-1800 for your free estimate. That's 314-993-1800. Window World won the Good Housekeeping Seal of Approval. That's not easy. They rely on the expertise of their in-house engineers and their analysts and their product experts to give that seal of approval. That should matter to you as well. Call for your free estimate right now. Simply the best for less at Window World. 314-993-1800, windowworld.com.
Play ball!
Step up to the plate by donating your old car to Goodwill and get 4 box seats to a Cardinal game. Your car donation to Goodwill will help people right here in St. Louis. Donating is easy, towing is free, and you get a tax receipt. Plus, you'll get Cardinal tickets, compliments of the St. Louis Cardinals. Donate online at mersgoodwill.com. Must mention promo code Cardinals. Hurry while supplies last.
Hi, this is Brian with Velocity Home Buyers, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 314-782-3333. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition and any price range in the St. Louis area. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that needs updating, but you don't have the time or money for it? Great, because I love buying outdated houses. I buy vacant houses, job relocation houses, and foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 314-782-3333. That's 314-782-3333.
The average family home takes on 40 pounds of dust per year. Dust and debris can worsen allergies, asthma, and cause discomfort in your home. Call Zero Res at 314-474-2020 and get $75 off any of their air duct cleaning packages. 314-474-2020. Zero Res.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is celebrating 54 years of residential and commercial service, maintenance, and installation of heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Maybe the Cardinals can get back on track this weekend with the homestand. Thursday afternoon, my friend Paulo Asensio from the Spanish language broadcast team joins us.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk. This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. We're grateful that you're here. Another beautiful day in St. Louis. It is, what's the temperature outside right now? 80. My computer says 80.
Oh my, that's what mine says.
Is it? That's
Bye.
warmer.
I'm out here right now. I'm leaving. Go. I gotta go. Gotta be out there in the sun.
No, too
3
hot.
minutes left.
Beautiful. I just need 6 more degrees and it's gonna be the perfect temperature. Hotter. Yes. I'm waiting for it. The YouTube live chat poll for today, I'm very interested. It kind of developed out of our conversation on the air yesterday. Hannah, why don't you walk us through the poll and tell us what folks are saying about it so far?
Today's poll is asking, should the GOP use TikTok to reach younger voters for the 2024 election? Yes or no? I'll get to some comments before we get to the results. Tom K from YouTube says the GOP should use every single tool at hand to win, so he thinks that they should use TikTok. Kenny D says yes, use everything available. JR says play the game that the Democrats do. It works, even though it's not what I prefer. Doc Bailey says absolutely not. Nothing that has anything to do whatsoever with China we shouldn't use. We are headed for war. We must cut any ties to them just for our own safety. Rick says that you should not narrow this just to younger voters. There's a lot of us older folks on TikTok, and we are mostly conservative. Okay.
You disagree with that?
Yeah, I do.
That
It was very judgmental.
Okay.
Dang.
What were you really saying there? I need you to come out with the confidence just like Anna had when she was like, I will not get arrested in that story in the last segment.
I already deleted that comment.
Oh, no.
Bree from
She hated
Twitch says, ban TikTok. It's just another app to distract our children and dumb them down with goofy videos. And then the China spy aspect of it is not worth it.
That's not an answer to the question, though, because I think that there are a lot of people who are voting yes, the GOP should use TikTok, who would also say we should also ban TikTok.
Yes.
I think Brad might be one of them.
I'm one of them.
Yeah, I can think of
But I
at
know
least
that
one
we need
example.
control and we need to win to be able to do that.
Dirk says that he voted no, but he's not 100% against it. The CCP involvement is my main concern.
Valid concern.
Quick Rick says, unfortunately, leaving only the Democrats to use this tool puts Republicans at a distinct disadvantage in the 2024 election. Until it's unavailable for all, it should be used by everyone.
Speak on it, Rick.
Yep.
Speak on it.
Chuck S. says nothing will get the left to get on board with banning TikTok more than the right using it to win elections.
That man's got it figured out.
Chuck, yes, way to be. I'm with that.
All right. Once again, should the GOP use TikTok to reach younger voters for the 2024 election? Yes or no? With over 190 votes, 65% of the people said yes, we should.
Whoa!
90% said this and 90% said that.
Yes.
How that works out.
65% of the people said yes, the GOP should use TikTok to reach younger voters for the upcoming election.
35% say no. That's interesting. I wonder if those 35% are lefty voters. Like, no, absolutely
Don't do
not.
that.
Terrible idea. You
we
shouldn't
need
be
this
there
vacuum.
at all. Well, we appreciate you each day voting on these polls. We are going to post this poll again on our Instagram. So if you want to vote again, you can by going to The Annie Frey Show on Instagram. Hannah's going to post that up there, and you can weigh in there as well. Thank you for being with us. The Mark Reardon Show is coming up next.
An update from Illinois Family Institute, IllinoisFamily.org. Abortion in Illinois is funded by taxpayers, and there are fresh legislative attacks against pregnancy care centers. But there are ways to counter that: sidewalk counseling, communicating with lawmakers, and more.
Obviously, we need to pray. Nevertheless, what should be in the more? How about running for office? If you're not happy with the policies, then switch out the politicians.
Tom Morrison with Big10IL.com served 12 years in the legislature. He's now recruiting candidates to run for office in the 2024 election.
Let's start moving the needle on the state of Illinois. Let's start getting us back to a more compassionate, sensible state.
Visit IllinoisFamily.org